Hello and welcome to the Destiny Community Podcast. We are officially live. It's episode number 82, right? 82.
Sure.
Yeah, 82 works. Absolutely. If you guys are watching the video version, you can see that Pope and Watts are not here today. They've got some stuff that came up that they could not avoid. So unfortunately, they were not able to make it for this episode. Wish them the absolute best. Unless suddenly some Pope just join the call randomly, which that'd be okay too, because he said he might, but probably won't. Also, Holtzman has officially gotten the player progression specialist job at Bungie, guys. Yes,
that's pretty exciting.
That is,
congrats.
Yeah, that's a huge congrats, honestly, because he's been wanting to get into the games industry. Not just being a content creator, but also actually getting into the games industry. So this is a huge step for Holtz, for being able to jump in there, but also because he gets to work on a game that he loves. Obviously, it's also bittersweet though, because that means he can't be on the podcast because anything related to Destiny is not allowed for him to talk about. So it's a double-edged sword,
I feel like it's a really great thing for Holtz. It's a really great thing for kind of everybody who plays Destiny too, because if you know Holtz, he knows a ton about Destiny. He knows like the nitty gritty details. Like if you ever watched his weapon reviews or you heard him talk about weapon systems or something like that, like, he really does go into depth about it.
Exactly.
And having him on the team, I think, is just a good thing for the community.
Yeah.
Like I'm really excited about that. But anytime we have a problem with any decision Bungie makes, we have direct access to him on Twitter at Holtzman_YT.
And any mistake is his fault from here on out.
Everything.
We can both congratulate and blame him simultaneously for all the things about Destiny 2. Isn't this awesome?
I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah. Be like, something's great. Be like, wow, Holtz, it's amazing that you didn't focus too much on magic cards and worked on the game. And then something's wrong. Be like, wow, Holtz, you focused too much on magic cards that time. Gosh.
I think you're close, Tefty. I think it's more like, something's great. Wow, Bungie, you did a great thing here.
Yeah.
Something's not so great. Wow, Holtz, you really messed this one up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. So that is that's a huge congratulations to Holtz on making that happen. He's going to be there for at least 3 months, and that's I wish him the absolute best on doors opening up for him and making great things in the Destiny universe.
Right.
Yeah, really cool. So our guest this week is none other than Giggs. Hey, Giggs.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Howdy. Going good.
Going good. Nice. You eating tasty tacos there in LA?
I need to. I haven't since I got back from Seattle.
Bruh.
So random fact, I ate tacos in Seattle and they were terrible. But anyway.
Well, it was Seattle, obviously.
It was trash.
Were they like wet and soggy and
They
cold?
were like some fish tacos. I don't even want to describe it.
When you're used to LA tacos, like you have like a standard,
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough out there outside of LA.
Yeah.
So we are going to get into all things Destiny and all that, but how about a little? You were on here about the time when D2 got launched and
Correct. Yeah.
discussed some stuff. Do you want? How's things been? How's things been with
D2 launch was great. Afterwards, not so great, but it's been good.
It's been good?
Overall, it's been good.
That's great.
Yeah.
What have you aside from Destiny? What have you been streaming?
Fortnite.
Lots of Fortnite.
Like
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. You digging it?
I mean, I love Fortnite.
Yeah?
It's great. I mean, I'm really into BRs. I was really into H1, got pretty into PUBG, and then Fortnite's my jam.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, it's great that Fortnite has happened for a lot of people who play Destiny because there's something that's missing, obviously, as we all know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So how was the summit for you?
It was really good.
Yeah.
I can't say anything, but the experience itself was really positive. I don't think a single person left that didn't feel like the experience was positive. So, yeah. And I don't think a single person also left not excited about the future of Destiny.
That's great. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like very skeptical and critical going in.
Yeah, I think that's fair for most people going in, wondering how the event is being purposed and so on and so forth. And then it's great to see so much feedback coming back saying that it was exciting and the future is bright for Destiny, assuming that they actually implement and correct all that stuff that you guys were able to check out.
Yeah, ball's in their court now. So.
Yeah. So I think there was a last minute NDA lift, and I think you got the go ahead to reveal some details. So you want to go ahead and reveal those details?
About Warmind?
I mean, anything you want, just go crazy.
Just anything. Apparently, NDA has been nullified, so this is like within the last minute too. Crazy. Yeah.
I mean, I have to be very careful. The NDA is kind of like it doesn't really say too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I can talk about like Escalation Protocol. Everyone saw the gameplay on that. Mm-hmm. It's fun. We didn't really get a full experience of it, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I'm not sure like how much I like it or how much I dislike it yet. It seems to be like Archon's Forge meets Prison of Elders. So it seems to be a step up from Archon's Forge, which is good.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys were pretty underleveled when you tried it at the
yeah, we were 350 and I'm pretty sure we were playing against 370. So like an ogre looks at you for a second and a half and you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's 7 levels to Escalation Protocol. Goth, Lupo, and I only made it to level 3. So, and then we got wrecked.
Interesting.
So yeah, like we didn't get the full experience. I know that at level 7, there's supposed to be some big boss. There's 5 different bosses that'll rotate over 5 weeks. So we didn't get to experience that boss.
Kind of like how Court of Orcs was. Court of Orcs had a boss each week for the third tier 3 key. Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully they're more difficult than that.
Right. I agree.
That's something they keep kind of harping on for this entire DLC is difficulty and length of progression, right? Is like, they like every time they mention something getting changed, whether it be just leveling up your character, like through the different power levels, or this new event, or just the fact that they put kind of this, I would say high hanging fruit on the competitive playlist as far as rank progression goes. Like there's just an added emphasis on difficulty in this upcoming Warmind DLC, and I think that's good because we're gonna have to play it for 5 months,
right?
Yeah. I mean, things being really easy in Destiny 2 and even Curse of Osiris was, if you're not a skilled player, like that can be fine, but for those of us that have a bit more skill, it's not as fun. So I think there's probably a good balance. I mean, I haven't played the whole DLC, but there's probably a good balance of like things that are accessible to everyone and things that are going to be like, you gotta step up your game if you're trying to complete those.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the things I heard from a lot of the people who did attend the summit and came back and were able to talk about the questions they asked, a lot of the emphasis seemed to be on adding difficulty, adding length of play, meaning like people just want to be engaged for longer periods of time. And this seems like an experiment by Bungie to kind of, tweak in that direction. And there seems to be a lot of pushback on it from the community. Like, a lot of solo players on the Destiny Reddit right now are, perturbed, let's say.
Yeah.
It looks like there's going to be stuff that's going to be hard for them to access as a solo player.
Right. I mean, and that's fair, right? Like, it's pretty hard to get a group together. Like we're fortunate enough to just be able to go on Twitter or be on stream and be like, hey, join up. But for most people, it's like there's no in-game LFG, and let's be honest, guided games doesn't count.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, their complaints are totally valid, and hopefully that gets addressed, and we can we can talk about what we told Bungie. I know Goth brought up if they had a message board at the tower. And you could go up to this message board and post like, hey, I'm looking for, 2 players for the Nightfall. And then you can leave and you can go do another activity. And then you can get some sort of notification that's like, hey, this guy wants to join up. This guy wants to join up.
That'd be amazing. Join fire team.
Dude.
Click.
Yep. Boom. Done. Go do the Nightfall.
Yeah.
Make some friends.
Yep.
And then you have a good experience. You can make a friendship, send them a friend request. And then you have, you can just keep expanding upon that.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the things I really hope for Warmind, not only content-wise, but I really hope population-wise that people get excited to play Destiny again, to actually want to do these activities. So LFGs become less of a, here's a bunch of solo people hoping that one person comes in is actually interested in doing something. Like, I want to see that stuff get really healthy again. So there's a lot of friendships, once again, that get formed around Destiny, and people are interested in leveling up and doing the weekly activities and and forming PvP teams, like trying to reach those higher ranks. I think that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hope that happens. I also hope that if they are putting something in here for the PvP side with the Valor and Glory, it would be really great to see that in PvE as well. To have
100%.
Yeah, some sort of measurement type of, you're putting in all this effort into doing raids, strikes, heroics, nightfall, so on and so forth. Have something like the is it Valor that's like constantly racks up points? I think so.
Yeah, Valor.
Yeah. Have something like the Valor, so there would be a really long tail form of like getting some sort of unique reward that's a weapon that would be insanely powerful for PvE that you could only get if you invested a ton of time into those activities over and over.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm with you. I mean, I feel like there's some steps being taken towards that, like removing raid gear from clan engrams.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like something like Valor, that's a point that always goes up if you're putting time in, like if they had PvE Valor where it's like you do a strike, you get some points, you do a raid, you get even more points.
Yeah.
You do a nightfall, you get extra points. I think something like that would be welcome with open arms to pretty much everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I can't think of anybody aside from people who might feel threatened that they can't just get their loot from an engram from the clan.
and those are people that like that things can't be structured like that.
Exactly.
Because then you just remove any incentive.
Yeah.
Or drive. It's just a participation medal.
You get
clan engrams you don't even participate, so it's just a medal.
It really is. You have to click join clan one time. And
honestly,
that was your participation.
Yeah, honestly, it's what's created the current ecosystem in Destiny, in the ghost towns of LFG, is that all these rewards are just easily handed out from things like a clan engram, and that's what's created the system right now. Some people also, I've heard some people talk about, do you think Trials is going to become a ghost town in comparison to people trying to farm Glory? Now that Glory is going to have something that's extremely unique.
So I thought about that as well, because it's like it's the same game modes, right? Like competitive right now is countdown and survival, and that's it, and that's what Trials is. So I mean, if they have some cool rewards, I see people going for it. But then once you get those rewards, like why play?
I mean, Trials. I haven't heard anything about them giving out new rewards this season in Trials. I mean, maybe there's a new set of weapons. There was a new set of weapons in season 2, right, for Trials?
Yes.
Yeah.
Darkest Before.
Like Darkest Before. Yep.
Yeah. So I could see Trials becoming a ghost town because, how long does it take to get Trials weapons? Usually you get them all in your first run to the, lighthouse.
Yeah, no, you do. Yep.
And then, your next focus is going to be on the next reward, which is going to be, in the competitive playlist.
Well, that's the thing that I feel like a lot of, I don't know if a lot of people forget about it, but I feel like people forget that some of the enticement for Trials in D1 was the fact that people have never been, and that there was stuff, or had never been flawless, and there was stuff from that chest that you could get that was exclusive to that chest. That was a very powerful desire to want to go flawless in Destiny 1. And in D2, there's cosmetics.
Yeah, for glow on your armor.
Yeah.
That's literally it. And an emblem.
Yeah. I don't think that's as powerful, judging by the numbers.
No.
No.
The Solar Jewel was famous.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And that you could only get that from the chest. And you could open it and get a jewel, but it could be void or arc, right? But you wanted the solar one.
You wanted solar, yeah.
And then
that actually kept me going all summer because it just wouldn't drop for me.
Yeah, and then Doctrine of Passion was such a good weapon that even if you had the adept version, it was like,
well, you wanted the adept version.
Yeah, you wanted it. Yeah, exactly.
It was better. It was a better weapon than the non-adept
that
version.
Propelled people into going into that playlist and trying to go flawless every week to get those rare weapons. And with Glory, there's going to be that desire to want to get that weapon because you can only get it from there. I mean, there's tons of people that put like hours and hours into trying to get the DFA because you could only get the DFA from grinding that Nightfall over and over.
Yep.
Yeah.
It took me 58 Nightfalls to get it. So yeah, I definitely grinded that.
35. So I had a long road as well.
I don't know how many I did. It was a lot and I never got it.
Arctic Haze did over 100 and didn't get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't get the sniper or the DFA. Next week we're expecting the auto rifle, which isn't that exciting to me. Really, I want the sniper.
Yeah.
I want the. I mean, the thing is, it's a new weapon you can only get from there. It's the new.
Yeah.
It's the new elitist shame weapon. I want it. I want a DFA shame, and I want an auto rifle shame. All that stuff.
Mhm.
That's why Midnight Coup was great. It was a great weapon, and you could shame people about it because they didn't get it from Callus yet. And then Benedict sold it, and it's like, well, everybody's got it. There's no use in shaming.
Yeah, you see it everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It loses its prestige.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So overall, though, coming from the summit, how do you feel about the future of D2?
I'm excited.
Yeah, just generally,
Yeah.
like lots of good
Just
stuff.
generally. Yeah, sure. I mean, I wish I could say, but I can't. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
All I can talk about is my impressions, and what I told Bungie. So
Nice.
I am excited about I've seen the future of Destiny, and I'm excited about the future of Destiny.
I got 3
Yeah.
questions for you, Gigs. Sorry.
Yeah.
These are just general questions. Like, did you hear these get brought up? That's
Mhm.
all I want to know because I just haven't heard the community talking about them. One
Okay.
was, have you heard anything about crossplay or cross save?
I personally brought up crossplay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad to hear it. And cross save. Did you hear anything about anybody talking about that?
Yep.
Yeah. Good. And I can't remember the third one, so I'll try and remember for later.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much anything that you could think of was brought up. Because it was 2 days of just talking about Destiny, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there was literally anything that you could come up with, ranked player progression, even down to like how cosmetics look. Because
Okay.
personally, I think that like the armor and stuff look better in D1 compared to D2, especially at the end with Age of Triumph and all the ornaments and stuff.
Yeah.
I personally feel like Hunters got. I'm not down with the whole skin tight ninja thing going on with Hunters in D2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you're about to go deep sea diving. Yeah, I feel it.
Deep sea ninja diving.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude.
Like I miss looking like a hunter in D1.
Right.
Yeah, of course, there's no blink for a hunter anymore, so that's why I just exclusively devour Warlock at this point because I like blinking. Can't help it.
Same. Yeah, I was a hunter main, and now I'm a Voidwalker devourer.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's too good. Plus, look like a deep sea diving ninja
Yeah.
with that gear. Yeah.
I mean, when they first, like, I'm talking like before Destiny even came out, and they showed the 3 classes, I immediately picked hunter just because of capes and the way they looked,
Mm-hmm.
and I stuck with it. And yeah, now I'm a warlock.
Nice.
A filthy warlock.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Honestly, I've got I think I've got more time on my Warlock in D2 than my Hunter. I was a Hunter main.
I've really been playing a lot of my Hunter lately. I don't know what it is. I just really enjoy it, like the high mobility setup on the Hunter.
So what subclass are you rocking?
I switched between Night Stalker and Pole Dancer.
Okay, yeah. Arcstrider got a buff, so
Yeah,
it's pretty solid now.
Yeah, I've been killed by Arcstrider. In Iron Banner, I got killed by Arcstrider way more often than I thought I was going to get killed.
The fact
Yeah.
that you have to say that is hilarious.
Yeah, I was like,
Because, yeah, Arcstrider used to be just like, oh, he's got an Arcstrider. Oh no, what am I gonna do?
I'm like, I might-
Hold on.
vulnerable.
I got this. Don't shoot at him. Don't waste your ammo.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, turn around and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to gun you down. Now you're dead. Great. Now I die from the
Yeah.
Arcstrider when I try to attempt to kill one.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's good, actually.
So let's talk a little bit about the reveal that they
Yes.
did a few days ago. I feel like one of the problems I've had personally with Bungie reveals on Twitch is that I feel like A, they've showed too much, and B, they've targeted an audience that I don't think was the audience that was actually watching that Twitch event, right? It was like they seem to be targeting an audience that had never like seen anything about Destiny before.
Yeah.
Where the people who are the 100,000 people who are watching a reveal event on Twitch are very intimately familiar with the game, and I feel like I felt like they were speaking to the core during this reveal. They really were. They made the assumption that the people watching this event knew what they were talking about. They didn't have to explain each individual detail, and like they assumed a level of knowledge that I appreciated, like compared to other events in the past.
Mhm. Same.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel it.
Also,
And then
the fact that they did one. One event.
One event was enough. Yeah.
As opposed to being like, here's the PvE reveal with the same amount of content. And then here's the PvP reveal a week later. And then here's like a sandbox reveal a week later after that. Like,
and then here's the gear after that.
Oh, yeah. Too much. Too yeah. Because you're right.
Yeah.
Those 100,000 people watching are absolutely aware of the systems and mechanics and so on and so forth that are happening in D2. They want to see what's going to get better. They're not trying to be pitched on a new game that they just stumbled upon from the Twitch directory.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was happy that they didn't show too much. In the past, I feel like they've shown too much. Like they've gone through like, okay, here's 4 sets of different armor that you'll get in this new DLC. Here's every exotic that you're going to get. Here's, here's, how this whole new system is going to work. Here's how this whole new event is going to work. Here's the entirety of, this playable area that you're going to get in, Rise of Iron or Curse of Osiris or something like that. I felt like they gave us a glimpse. They gave us a look. They gave us a look at a new event. They didn't go too deep into it. They gave us a look at a new patrollable area. I feel like there's more to see to this DLC than what they showed. It was just enough to get me excited, not too much that I felt like I'd seen everything.
Sure.
Leaves a sense of discovery. Like I'm actually, that's something I'm very excited about this game is the sense of discovery with like, what kind of armors they're going to be, what kind of weapons. And then, they just showed the exotic catalyst that everyone will have. That's like a community-wide Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, exactly. That's really cool.
So
that's interesting.
There.
I hope that there's a fair amount of new perks, personally. Because for me, the sandbox in D2 has gotten just really, really bland. Because, you hunt for either something with kill clip or rampage, essentially. It ends up...
Yeah, I can't... Off the top of my head, I can't think of a third perk that would be on that level. So yeah, I'm with you.
Outlaw. If you can have outlaw along with that stuff, then you're good to go. And that's like that's been the crux of the issue of people who get everything. They're like, well, that's it. I don't really want to go and try to experiment with other weapons because the perks are trash, or just not that level. So I'm hoping that they add a few more, not just having like Desperado in there. Like those things I really like. I like things that can synergize with perks to make interesting builds happen. So I'm hoping there's more stuff like that in there, but I'm honestly feeling like it's probably going to be September when there's a huge shakeup of perks and so on and so forth to the sandbox. So I'm tempering my expectations with that, but I'm hoping there's at least a few in there that are some interesting new perks that get added to the sandbox.
I mean, not in the reveal, but like if you watch any YouTube videos, a lot of the YouTube videos that kind of, went wide right after that reveal had a lot of information about some of the new weapons. Some of the new weapons did have some new perks.
Do they?
Yeah, they weren't like wild game changer for legendaries, but they were interesting at least. But I feel that their focus right for this DLC is exotic.
Yeah, Masterworks.
That's how I feel.
Speaking of perks, John Wisniewski posted a tweet, and I played with the weapon, but I didn't even catch this when I was using it. But a new SMG that you get from Escalation Protocol has a perk where it's an energy SMG. So if you use that to break the shield of an enemy, you put a debuff on the enemy that lets it take more kinetic damage.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I thought was pretty interesting.
That's really cool.
So,
yeah. They said it does work in PvP too.
So I guess that'd have to be like that's interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe like you break the shield and you can one tap them with a hand cannon or something.
Yeah, and the TWAB it was talking about how Borealis was getting that specific perk added to it. But I didn't realize it was on an SMG. That's great. Because I would love to be able to that's a pretty common loadout to switch from an SMG to a hand cannon in PvE. Yeah, break a shield and then That's great. Things like that are really cool because it gives me interesting options to try different weapon combos out. That's what I want.
Yep.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I think they realize that getting extra damage is something that the community always chases too. Because I know the shotgun from Escalation Protocol, it's like if you melee an enemy, the shotgun does more damage and it's a full auto shotty. So you can like run up to an ogre, melee it, and then just like
melt.
Put out with the shotty.
That's cool. Yeah. Those designs look really badass. I know that I know they're like Sleeper Simulant inspired, but just the overall aesthetics is really cool looking. Like they look like raid quality weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They remind me a little bit of the last season Iron Banner in Destiny. Not in the aesthetic, but in how unique they look compared to the rest of the weapons in the world.
Yeah, they had like the
they all look kind of like the sleeper simulant.
Yeah,
even the armor. Yeah,
that's cool. I dig that. That whole event I'm excited about. Yeah, like I'm hoping it lasts a little bit longer than what Archon's Forge lasted. You know, because like Archon's Forge, I felt like it had about a month, but it's probably going to be about that long.
I think
realistically,
so.
I think it's going to.
We're going to get 5 unique bosses. Yeah. We're going to get probably 5 unique rewards from each of those bosses, right? And then you'll be able to grind. You'll be able to grind it throughout the week. Also, like if you want the full set of armor, if you want all the weapons, you can grind it as much as you want to get everything out of there that you want. And then there's going to be just those the power stuff is going to come just from beating that boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, power levels.
Yeah, I don't know actually how the loot works. So I would imagine, if it's 5 weeks, right? Like you get 5 different bosses. I would imagine after that you're done. Like I personally, I don't see why I would go back unless I didn't have all the rewards. Right. So once I have all the rewards and I've played all the bosses, I don't really see me touching that game type.
Or you need more light
I think
level.
That's kind of yeah, that too. But I imagine by 5 weeks you should be the highest light.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's great to have
like I do 3 days of hard light level grind. Then we run the raid, and if we beat it, I don't think about light level for the rest of the DLC.
Really?
Because there's really no point with the way the game's structured.
Yeah.
If you beat the raid, like how much higher light level you got to be?
I still intrinsically want to hit like max level, even if I beat the raid, because it's one of those things that's like it's your mental checklist. But that is one of
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is one of the problems with Destiny. Again, to Destiny 2, is that once you hit max light, like it doesn't open anything up. There's no doors that open with max light.
Right.
You don't like all of a sudden stomp a lower level activity or something.
Yeah, or like some sort of activity that can only be accessed if you're literally max light.
Or Iron Banner needing light level and Trials needing light level.
Exactly. Those were like reasons in D1 to hit max level, because you didn't want to be handicapped, I guess. Would that be correct? You didn't want to be at a disadvantage, essentially.
Right.
You didn't want to go into PvP and get one tap by a thorn. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So there were reasons to hit max light. In this one, it's like, well, if you want to tank a prestige level a little bit better, that's it, right?
Yeah. Pretty. I mean, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, if you want,
other than getting your number to the top.
Yeah, if you want to be able to handle prestige nightfall or raids a little bit better, that's the reason to hit max level right now. But you could still do those at lower level.
With the prestige, the way they're changing the prestige rates too, I could see wanting to be able to tank some damage if all of a sudden, like the loadout calls for very short range weapons. Where you gotta. You're going to have to like get in there and mix it up. You're definitely going to want to be a little high light level to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think they have, I mean, I didn't personally read it, so maybe you guys can elaborate on it, but the new delta scaling.
Yeah.
They talked about.
Yeah.
Where like if you're lower, it hurts harder, but if you're above, it actually like benefits you now.
Yeah.
So I think it's something along those lines.
I believe so. Yeah. I don't remember it specifically, but yeah, it felt like it was around those. So you're going to take more damage, but you're also going to be able to get more powerful. Right. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
So maybe somebody that took 2 shots to kill will all of a sudden take 1 shot to kill, which we haven't had that in Destiny 2, because the way it worked in D2 is like, even if you went and did a level 1 activity and you were max level, like you would be put to the level of the activity you're playing.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Gigs, did you happen to get a chance to use that new hand cannon from that public event, but
are you talking about Escalation Protocol?
Yeah, from Escalation Protocol.
I used a lot of the new weapons. I couldn't tell you much about the hand cannon, to be honest.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just looks so cool. I want it to be good.
Same.
Yeah. I will say I used that shotgun and it was awesome.
It was good.
Nice. That's cool. I'm excited about the DLC. I'm excited about what they revealed. I'm excited to see more of what's happening. Like we don't know anything about the raid layer. I personally hope that it's not just a fusion rifle and a what's missing right now?
Grenade launcher, linear fusion rifle, and a fusion rifle, I think.
Yeah. I hope that the rewards are not just those and some cosmetics. I hope they put some time in to actually give us a full suite of weapons for the raid layer, because again, that's part of that chase.
Yeah.
The collector chase, right?
We do know the name of the raid layer, right? It's like the Tower of the Stars, or something like that, which made me think of, you know how when you see the Leviathan, you can see that city like right up on the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
think we're going there?
I don't know. It made me think of that city.
If you look at it, there's a giant spire, and then there's two little like stars right next to it. So, I mean, I would assume that's where the raid layer is going to be.
That sounds cool. So the other one we went underneath the city, and this one we're going above the city.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm down. Sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
I'm excited.
The raid
about
layer
that.
was fantastic. I can't wait for the next one. It was so good.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job with it, even though it was short. Like, I thought it was visually amazing.
Yeah, the last boss fight was one of the best boss fights I think I've ever had in Destiny as well. It was just so fun.
Yeah, Argos is top 3 for me for sure.
Yeah, that whole arena.
Yeah. Did you guys see? So on the Destiny the Game website, they posted like some information with like a strike like around Nokris.
Yeah.
Do you know about that?
Yeah.
So like in Taken King, before the final mission, there's 3 statues you could scan. One was for Crota, one was for Orcs, and then one was for someone called Nokris. And we're getting a strike around him, who is like the right hand man, or like the step down from some Kara named Zal. So I'm hoping that the final boss of the raid layer is some Kara, and then in the teaser as well, there's like the giant shadow.
Interesting.
Like the lore guys are kind of upset. Like if Nokris is a strike boss, the lore guys are a little pissed off about it, because it gives a little bit of short shrift to this guy who's like got a lot of lore behind him, and like a lot of Nokris has been. I like to call him knockers. It's just easier to say.
Old knockers.
Good old knockers.
He's been mentioned a lot. You know, he's like a prince. You know, he's kind of like Crota. Like he's a big dude, and you know, if he just gets a strike, some people are a little worried about that.
Yeah, I mean that's how I felt, because I remember like scanning that statue back in Taken King and being like, "Oh my god, is this going to be like a future raid boss?" Like I'm excited. And then someone told me in my chat, they're like, "Yeah, go to Destiny the Game," and I was like, "Oh, it's a strike." And I was like, But if the payoff is fighting a Kara in the raid, I'm kind of cool with it.
That would be cool.
I mean, the raid, like this is theoretically going to be the last part of the Leviathan trilogy, right? Like we had the full raid, then we had the 2 raid layers, and like this should finish off the Leviathan kind of story arc. So I'm really excited just to kind of see, obviously we got kind of a surprise at the end of the original raid, and then we cleaned out the guts of the ship, so the ship is working again. And now, are we going to go fight Callus? Or are we going to do something else? Like, are we going to kill Callus? Or are we going to not kill Callus? Like, what's our relationship with Callus going to be,
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I'm not a super lore master, but I'm pretty sure that Callus is like trying to test and recruit us for some higher evil. Probably what we saw at the end of the Destiny 2 campaign, like those like ships, the pyramid ships or whatever. I hope that the payoff at the end of this raid layer is well worth it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, personally, I don't want to fight Callus. I hope we don't do that. I hope like he's not.
I kind of don't want to kill him either. I like him as a character that sticks around.
Well, I feel like he could totally arc into some other stuff down the road in the Destiny franchise. Like I want like an Ahamkara or something of that level that we fight at the end of this raid layer, because I know it's not going to be a super long raid, and I know that it's the DLC is not big enough to have like a huge type of like arcing story that's going to go with something like that. So if it is an Ahamkara in there that's attached to Nokris, old man Knockers, then I think that'd be really cool. It is a little lame though if they're just like throwing in Nokris,
Yeah. He's got to have some sort of build up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll have to play the DLC and find out.
True.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah, I would love to I'd love for Callus to like go away, right? It's like he's like, okay, thanks for helping me out. I'm gonna jet, but I'll see you in a bit. And then like 3 years down the road in Destiny 3, oh, Callus is back.
I want Callus to show back up. I want him to show up with like another proposition, like down the road.
Right. Like a recurring character like Q in Star Trek, right? Where he just shows up every once in a while, and it's just like, what the fuck is this guy up to this time?
Yeah, you don't trust him, but at times he's helped you and he's done some really shady stuff. But like, you're also using his weapons, and you're like, okay, well, we have a weird relationship.
Not every relationship is perfect, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
What'd you guys think of Anna Bray? Like, they showed that little opening cinematic, like the prologue for the story, and you got to see, she's connected to. I don't know if she remembers her golden age self or she's somehow aware of her golden age self, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's got like an ID badge from when she used to, be working in Clovis Bray. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm really excited for her story. Like, I'm hoping that they connect her and like we get a little exposition about like her story in the Golden Age and how Cade 6 is connected to Clovis Bray. And like, there's a lot of stuff they could do with that whole story that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, and she did that weird thing where like her eyes got all like robotic and she could see through walls all of a sudden.
Hell yeah. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I mean, more diving into more characters is something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. The cinematic looked incredible. I mean,
yeah, that cinematic team is nuts.
Right? Every time I see something from them, there's just like, please, can I have more of this? This is beautiful looking. And she looks badass. Hey, she looks, Anna Bay is the official, the official name. She looks really cool. I'm happy that she's going to be a character that you actually go and talk to and get stuff from, tokens.
Mm-hmm. Like an NPC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to go deliver your Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
Yeah, you dump off your load of tokens and you collect your prize, But still, she's going to have dialogue that I'm interested in hearing, which is cool.
Do you think you see a return of Eris, given that there's Hive in this DLC?
I didn't think about that.
Good question.
Frozen Eris? Chili Eris?
I don't trust her, man. I think she's sketchy.
Oh, hell yeah. Like that final cutscene in The Taken King?
Taken King.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on. Some people believe that like that. There's nothing to that, but I'm saying that was sketchy as hell.
Dude, the vibe that I got from that cutscene was like Eris is going to slice us in the back at the appropriate moment. She's going to straight up cut us.
Yep.
That's what I took away from that.
She's actually just Savathun and in disguise. Yeah.
It's interesting if Eris came back. I mean, she's not gone, that's for sure. So she's got to be out there somewhere, right?
No, she's mentioned right in Destiny 2, isn't she?
Is she?
People seem to think that they know where she is.
Where?
Where's Mile in her bife when we need her?
Right? With some facts. What do you guys think of Chili Hive? Ice Hive?
It's a new race, man. Come on. With the program. No, I thought like the theme of it was cool, and I'm gonna be upset if I don't get some ice armor.
Yeah.
If you look at the gameplay from Escalation Protocol, there's like some new knight that has a shield.
Oh, that's cool.
That's not a huge game changer. I mean, yeah, they look cooler, but it's still the Hive that we know.
Yeah. I'm hoping that plays into their abilities in some way, right? Like, I'm hoping there's something to that aside from just a visual cosmetic change.
Well, one of the exploders on the stream exploded, and then the person was chilled, had a chilling effect.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so I did see that. I'm hoping that's just not it. Like, that's not the whole extent of the ice. I'm hoping there's more icy things about these hives.
Listen, man, it's very complex. They're a brand new enemy race. And,
Frozen hive. Suddenly awoken for more sats.
I am hoping for a new enemy race, not in this DLC, but I'd really like a new enemy race, like a big shift, like something brand new to fight.
Like Space Doritos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want you
3D Doritos, maybe delivered by a bird.
I think a safe assumption would be that cutscene at the end of the campaign with the pyramid ships would be a new race.
Right. Yeah.
That could very well be Hive, though, couldn't it?
I mean, I guess.
I think this is a lore thing where isn't there like a discussion of something?
All right. Who's got Bifon speed? Though?
Yeah. I don't know anything, honestly.
What do we know?
I'm just throwing things out there at this point. Those don't look like Hive to me. They look like something else.
I would, if I was a betting man, I would say no.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
some like.
Do you think it's gonna be like when it works its sister, or you think it's gonna be completely different thing? Like completely
Well, okay,
different.
so it's when that cutscene first came out, there's like a very, very old pre-Destiny even launching concept art thing of 5 enemy races. And one of them was like some floaty, weird looking alien with those like pyramids in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the art book. I remember that.
Yeah, I think it's very safe to say that that is a brand new.
It's the darkness,
race that we
right?
haven't seen before. I mean, call by, man. I don't know.
The
I
darkness
play
doesn't exist
PvP
in
and do
Destiny
raids
2.
and stuff.
The realization of the lack of or coming of darkness. You know.
Did you see the Traveler came alive and obliterated all the darkness in the galaxy? It's all bright light now.
True,
There's no
true,
more
true,
darkness
true.
in Destiny 2.
Yeah. Just blew it all over the giant.
You think we're
Traveler
getting some
load.
kind of acknowledgement that the Traveler is woken up? Like, what the fuck? That's kind of a big thing, don't you think? Like, I'm no lore guy, but that seemed like a big deal. And like nobody said dick about it.
Yeah.
I mean, is it any different than what it was before it was captured? Does it exploding like that mean something?
I don't know.
Well, it reawoke
Weird.
stuff. Some of
It is.
it exploded and then it woke the space Doritos. Space Doritos were like, "What the hell is this Traveler load getting blown on everything? I better go investigate this." And then suddenly, darkness shows up.
Yeah. I'm loving that we have 3 people that don't really know anything about
Having
the
a
lore.
lore discussion.
Going really in depth on the lore.
Yeah, we go hard about the things that we don't know about. That's right.
You guys want to talk about the TWAB? There's a lot of good stuff in the TWAB this week.
There is, man.
Yes.
Did we talk about everything on the reveal though? There was escalation protocol.
It'll overlap with TWAB too.
That's true.
There was the new map,
Oh yeah,
PvP.
that
if
new
you
map
wanna-
looked
Oh
cool.
yeah, that's right.
Ice caves and all
Yeah.
that. How did it play?
Yeah. I mean, I only did 1 match on it. So we like they brought us in to like play PvP. The first map I got was Vostok, so I was like, all right,
Best map
Cool.
ever, right?
best map in the game. Won multiple awards. But our final game was on I think it's called Solitude. It played pretty good, but like again, I played 1 game on it, so I'm running around like not knowing how this map is structured. So like,
Fair enough.
I don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They
I don't remember how many.
show
new-
off a bunch of weapons in PvP though. They showed the showed the Sturm 2-shot somebody.
Right.
Mhm.
They showed the new Graviton Lance.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed pretty powerful. It seemed it's hard to say when somebody else is shooting, like how
Yeah.
fast the time to kill is. Like
They
you don't get
Yeah.
a feel.
they showed off Tocom whiffing a few shots as well. So there was that as well.
Mhm.
Way to go, Tocom.
Only because he tweeted about it. That's why I'm saying it. That's why.
They showed Fighting Lion too, which I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what was the change? It was like
More damage up front,
More-
right?
Okay.
And then it faster fire rate, I think, wasn't it? Is that far?
it's 1 in the mag though, I think. So
Oh, faster reload. Sorry,
okay.
I think that might have been it. Yeah, but I know the initial. Oh, it was less impact damage and more blast radius, I believe. So you don't have to
Gotcha.
focus on trying to get a direct body hit, which, as we all know,
Mhm.
is relatively difficult in the
That,
Crucible.
that thing doesn't have proximity debt, right?
Yeah, no, definitely doesn't have proximity. No. Yeah, so
No, I think you have to hold down the thing and then release, and then it explodes.
Okay.
got it.
So I mean, a Fighting Lion meta would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think you tweeted about the Crimson, right?
I am absolutely in love with the
Yeah.
Crimson.
Really?
Which is a huge change
Like-
from where it's been, right?
Yeah, no,
Night
the
and day.
Crimson right now is dog meat.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Night and day difference.
But Crimson come Warmind is like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went to play PvP, everyone got like 1 exotic weapon, and the one I happened to get was Crimson, and I was like, "Oh my god, this thing is amazing!"
Nice.
What makes it so good now?
Just it actually has range and damage.
With
Um,
if you masterwork it right, it's gonna have like max range, right? 100% range.
Yeah.
Really?
So yeah, that's what they said on the stream, John, who did all the exotic weapon stuff. And so you have a max range hand cannon, right? And it does a lot of damage. So I mean, and it heals you a little bit on every kill, so you get like a quick burst.
Yeah.
So
Quick
pair
heal.
that with Devour Teft, and we're in there.
It's
buddy.
over.
They
I
said
mean,
they
yeah,
tried
because the way it is right now, it's like it's literally a pulse rifle with hand cannon range
Okay.
and not that much damage. So it's like it's
no ammo.
yeah, it's not good at all right now. It's actually terrible.
Mhm.
And but come Warmind, that thing is a beast.
That's
They
exciting.
said they were trying to kind of simulate the time to kill of the hardest hitting hand cannon,
Mm-hmm.
like trying to get it into that range.
The
which,
aggressive
I mean,
frame, yeah.
Those are if you
Aggressive is
three-tap
that
dead.
aggressive is 110, right?
I think so.
110
Yeah, the
RPM
110.
110, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, those have 3-tap potential. So
Yeah. If you hit 3 headshots, a guardian could go down theoretically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Graviton Lance looked really good as well. Both, I mean, obviously PvE. I can't wait to try that thing out. In PvP, like depending on how consistent it is, man, I don't know. I'm excited to try it. Could be pretty good.
yeah, Graviton Lance looks really interesting.
Mhm.
I mean, I want to see the Sunshot.
Yeah.
I am dying to see the Sunshot too. I want to know what the masterwork does for that. I want to know, like, is it going to have a competitive time to kill? What's the range going to be like on that? Because they're also, we know that they're making the change where it's going to get a higher emphasis on explosive rounds, and the Firefly perk is going to be a much bigger explosion, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like Graviton Lance where it just like chains like crazy.
That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
God, that'd be amazing.
Because
We started hearing about that thing like 3 months ago when they said that they got a triple kill in the Crucible with the explosion.
they've been hyping it up for a while.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure it's gone through several updates. But like Sunshot is good right now. I think the only downside to it is it only has like 8 bullets in the magazine.
8 bullets
So,
of range ain't great either.
If you're taking a weapon that's already good and making it better, like that's pretty exciting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very
And it's a
exciting.
hand cannon, so I'm totally biased, and I love hand cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's an energy hand cannon. There's not a whole lot of. I think the only other energy hand cannon I ever use is the Jack Queen King.
Yeah, that and Annual Skate are the only ones you really see.
Yeah.
But the kinetic hand cannons are obviously night and day better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They outclass them pretty heavily. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm very excited about that. That's another thing that I'm just really excited about for the Warmind DLC. Just to see all these weapons that we have and just to kind of like a renaissance of retrying things. You know, before we go into the TWAB, which does talk about the exotic masterworks, I think this would be a great time to actually talk about those now and what they've clarified with it. So so once you've got your exotic, you can then go and collect an exotic catalyst for a select number of exotics that are currently available. Not everything will be masterworkable, but they are going to slowly add those into the system as it goes by. So you'll be able to look in there, and if there is an option for it to be masterworked, you'll be able to hover over it, and it will say defeat powerful enemies in strikes or something along those lines. Every masterwork is going to be a little bit different. Some are going to be easier, some are going to be harder to get. And then once you've obtained the catalyst and you put it into the weapon, it masterworks it, and you get the same benefits as legendaries, which is great. You know, you get to double kill, gets an orbital light, and tracks kills. But on top of that, which I'm really excited, is they're actually adding progress to the masterwork. So you can then...
I think you actually had that backwards. So to get the catalyst, it's in a hidden area of the game that like they'll give you a hint on the weapon, and it could be like, oh, the Shax is very happy, you know, and then you know, okay, that's Crucible related. Now I need to go to the Crucible, and then all of a sudden you could get like I'm just throwing something random out there, like a lights out medal, and all of a sudden on your screen, boom, exotic mod, and or what they're calling exotic catalyst. And then you get what you're saying where it says like, oh, go kill 20 people in the Crucible.
Oh, no, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Like, so you have to go get the catalyst first to actually make it a masterwork. And then in order to fully... You add the catalyst first, and then it creates... It's officially a masterworked weapon, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then to fully unlock the masterwork, you then do work with it. Like, go get extra kills in the Crucible or do strikes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. They call them like bounty-like objectives.
Bounty-like objectives, which I love. Like that's what like I want in the whole game. I want every weapon to have a progression to it where it drops. Like if the old-fashioned dropped the way it is, and then you could go down a progression system like this to further unlock abilities or skills in it or stats, like that's a huge grind right there. Lots of people
like
want
for
to do
example, if it was like you get a gun with kill clip on it, and then it's like kill clip does like a little bit of extra damage, but as you use it and like progress your weapon, it does more
that.
and more
Fully
damage,
unlock kill clip. Yes.
Yeah. Or like
Fully operational
kind of
kill
makes
clip.
it load faster, and then as you use it, it gets faster.
I would love it. Oh my God. That would just be amazing. So they're doing that with these exotics, which is cool. Also, if you happen to delete your exotic and then recollect it off of the wall or get it in an engram or something like that, its progress for the masterwork is tracked account wide. So it's not per weapon. Like if you have one Graviton Lance and that you put the masterwork into it or the catalyst, it's not just that one. It's all of your Graviton Lances in the entire account.
If you get another drop on that Graviton Lance, it will drop as with the masterwork stuff unlocked.
And the progression towards the goal of fully unlocking it already saved.
Right. That's really interesting. They're going to be powerful because you get new abilities for the exotics plus stat boost.
Yeah. Well,
it's two phases.
So the only thing I know right now was that it was stat boost, but is there actually, does that confirm that like full on abilities are going to be added when you fully unlock a masterwork? Anybody know?
No.
Oh, NDA.
What? I didn't hear what you said.
Do you know if fully unlocking a masterwork?
I don't know, man. Maybe why don't you?
Don't know. All right, we don't know. We have to play the DLC, guys. Cool. That's great. That's exciting.
It looks really interesting. It's more interesting than the Masterworks process for legendaries, I feel like, and that's how it should be for exotics. And because exotics are so easy to get, like having a little bit of grind to make the exotics, masterwork, I think is okay.
Absolutely.
And they avoided people who were just saving up masterwork cores, waiting to like infuse them into exotic masterworks.
Absolutely.
So they kind of got around that little thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that's been missing is like the post. Like I've always wanted the grind to begin when I've gotten a weapon, for me, and so this is a little bit of that. It's just like a hint. So I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kind of had it in D1, but I didn't like the way it was structured.
Exactly.
So like you remember in vanilla D1, you had to do like 1 million bounties and then unlock the XP, and then you had to go run around Mars for an hour collecting relic iron, and like that process wasn't very fun. But something like go into the Nightfall and kill 200 enemies, that's something that's like
and it's spread out. It's going to be different for each masterwork. Like one masterwork might require you to go grind adventures or strike or crucible, right? And they said different masterwork will have different drop rates. Some will be like heavy on RNG where they could be a really low drop rate, and some will be, like if you do a specific activity a certain number of times, you're guaranteed it, right? So they'll all be a little bit different, and kind of working through what you need to do to get each masterwork is going to be fun for the community because Bungie's not planning on sharing that, right? That's going to be,
thank God.
The community is going to figure that out, and that'll be a lot of fun to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the community doesn't just blow through it in like a day. I'm hoping like there's some things that are maybe on the easier side, but there's like other ones that are like, this isn't going to be found for like a month type of thing, right?
That would be
so
great.
then it's like everyone is on Reddit and like Twitter and everything and Twitch, and they're just like, where is the masterwork for this weapon? Like, I've checked here, I've checked here, and then it's like you're making a checklist. Okay, now it has to be in one of these two places, or maybe some place that you thought was checked, it actually wasn't there. Et cetera, et cetera.
And some of it's going to be RNG, which is I'm okay with that. It'd be cool if the Legend of Acreus gets a masterwork and it's really powerful. In addition to how it's already really powerful.
I really can use more range and impact.
Double range.
I really hope they add one for Acreus that gives it a way bigger magazine size and allows it to carry more ammo in PvP.
Yeah, you hold 69 bullets in your magazine.
We all know that Acreus is obviously the exotic you get from the raid quest, and it is way underpowered right now.
Yeah,
it's not a problem in the Crucible.
Let's be honest. It's a rough road when you're rocking the Acreus. It'd be great if there was like some secret thing that you had to do in the raid, and it like maybe like just the flavor was like raid, and you didn't know what you had to do in the raid, and it was some sort of secret combination that was like really hidden to order to unlock the masterwork for it.
Did you ever play Halo 3? So do you remember the Hayabusa helmet and like jumping through the rings?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like something like crazy like
Yes.
that. I get what you're, I would be down with
Wouldn't that be awesome? Just because again,
Yeah.
it's already like a super intense. We all know Accurus in PvP right now, but like it'd be cool if there was some sort of Easter egg thing of a masterwork for it. It was hidden.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Actually,
that's
I
one
think
thing that
that's
we
recon
skipped
armor.
over during the reveal is that they had the guy from Vicarious Visions. I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but he mentioned that there are definitely secrets in here, and he said that he'd be surprised if the community figured them all out,
Awesome.
which I think was a challenge accepted by the community.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I want. Like I want old Bungie back with the secrets. Like I want the spindle and a bunch of other things on that level.
Yeah, that's something that blows my mind is like that was so well received by the community, yet like wasn't expanded upon and like multiplied in the amount of that they put things like that in the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I personally brought that up at the summit, being like, you know, the spindle quest. Why didn't we get more stuff like that? Why don't we get more stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yep.
Hopefully they're listening.
So if we don't get it, we can blame you, right?
Yeah, no, blame Holtzman.
We're gonna blame Holtz. Yeah. Oh good. Yeah, Masterworks. It's a great first step towards progression. The exotic Masterworks, right? For your gear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all need to see how it's executed, right? Because
Sure.
like the potential of it is massive, but you know, if they didn't do a very good job of hiding these things, everything's going to be discovered right away. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yep. I think Pope is going to be jumping in.
Yeah.
No, I refuse
Hey,
to.
beautiful.
Hey, Pope, how you doing? There's Pope.
Oh, mute your Skype, please. Oh,
I muted it.
Are you
Thank you.
recording also?
I am recording.
Perfect.
excellent.
All right. We got another member.
You know, I'm really happy to be here. This is literally the highlight of my week. So missing it would have been bad. So
We figured
cheers.
you guys were just mad at
Cheers.
us for not being there. We figured you guys were mad that me and Tefty didn't show up last week, so you're paying us back by not showing up this week.
Boycotting an
Well,
episode.
those motherfuckers took a vacation. We're taking a vacation too.
I literally just walked in from work, took off my tie, and started up the stream.
If you were on IGN's podcast, you would have left the tie on.
Profesh.
Oh my god! All right, hey Gigs, how's it going, man?
Going good.
Yeah,
Good to see
So,
you, man. I was a little
it's-
sad that you weren't here originally.
yeah. You
Can
know,
have
yeah, work stuff, right?
Yeah. It's a pain.
Yeah.
Work stuff.
So they showed off some more exotics in the TWAB. They've been kind of showing these on Twitter all week as well, and kind of been fielding questions. It's been nice. You know, if you have a question right now about something they're showing, you can just tweet the guys. You know, like, hey,
And
Cosmo,
they'll answer.
what's the deal with the hard light? And he'll just tell you. It's really nice.
It is
Like
nice.
the amount of communication that's going on between Bungie and the community right now is really, it's on a different level than what we're used to. It's really fun.
Yep.
I like it a lot.
So they show the tractor cannon. The tractor cannon
This
is
is huge.
now has what's
This is
that?
huge.
Yeah, it now has the ability. If you shoot somebody, it now gives them like susceptibility to void, like a weakness to void, so
Yeah.
that they take extra damage from any void attacks, which is really cool. They showed it off. You know, they showed a warlock using it against Baracus Zahn, one of the strike bosses. And they just ripped him apart in seconds.
So
right?
they're doing that, but they're also adding suppression. When at first I was like, okay, cool. A void weakness is great, but then also adding suppression on top.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Think about the potential of that in PvP.
for PvP, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how would you use it in PvP? Like, what would be the circumstance?
Like you're getting pushed by a super and then
Oh,
you
Suppressed.
just suppress them and then
And they're knocked back from the blast.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Just wait here. Hold on.
yeah.
Well, I think the tractor cannon needed that, right? Because like it has that push potential, but let's say you push someone off the map, they can just jump back on, right? Like if it's a hunter, like they can easily just get back on the map.
Yeah.
But with this, it's like you don't have
Done.
a double jump anymore, bud.
so range supers or roaming supers are going to be this is going to be an equalizer for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, they're gonna hate it. It'll be hilarious if you're using it.
Yeah,
Which
I can see some good montages coming from this
Yeah.
thing.
I could see the fun police adding this to his repertoire.
Mhm.
Right?
I could also see like you're gonna want to use something like say Jack Queen King to combo avoid Jack Queen King. So like just automatically hit him with that, then swap to Jack Queen King, and I'm assuming it's gonna make it either a 1 or 2 tap if the crits.
What? The tractor cannon itself will do some damage, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that'll knock some damage off. You switch to your hand cannon, and you get 2 crits. It's probably going to be done. Maybe even one crit, depending on how much damage you did with it, because it's already going to be extra damage with the void.
I like that they are giving other ways to combat the increase in supers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So more people are getting supers more often. I feel like this is a good addition.
Yeah. Hard Light is getting some changes. The biggest change to it is that when you hit ricochet rounds, they now will do, is it double damage?
Double damage, yeah.
Double damage.
What?
So, yeah.
What?
So if you're hitting somebody with the ricochet, so you're bouncing the Hard Light
Yeah.
off a wall and it's hitting your enemy, it now does double damage that it would if it's directly shooting them.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I like how they talked about this a little bit too, because they talked about they were doing a bunch of different things to it. They were trying different things. And one of the things they tried to do was actually make it sort of track or have like aim assist to it so that it would actually help you aim at somebody by bouncing around a wall.
Wait,
But-
like a needler or not that much aim assist?
I don't think that much, but
Okay.
I don't know. They don't specifically say how much. But they said they had to track it like bouncing 3 times. So 3 off of 3 different walls, and it'd still be kind of tracking. But then you have 6v6, everybody's using Hard Light, and they have to do all that tracking off of like 3 different walls. They said it was just too much, so they decided on double damage instead.
I think double damage is
I
awesome.
like that little insight into the development of the weapon. I thought that was fun.
Mhm.
I think it's interesting, but I don't think it'll be fun to troll with, but I don't think it's gonna be like PvP meta, like game breaking.
Exactly.
No, but I do think it'll be
No.
fun.
Yeah,
But double damage seems like a lot, though, Gigs.
that's true. But like, are you really gonna be wanting to shoot? Like, if you're in a fight with me, are you gonna want to shoot the floor in front of me and trying to be like ricochet rounding?
No,
Because
but
I'm just shooting you.
So I'm thinking
Right.
Trials. You know that one Trials map that is all white,
Yeah.
Yeah, Eternity.
right? And so the bomb plant site where it has those corridors. I
Mhm.
think there's certain maps that you would feel like
yeah, it's very situational.
there's
for
a
sure.
closed in corridors that you could just defend a position by just shooting down the hallway, right?
Or that guy, damn well he's got either a sword or an accurate. He's standing behind that door. Damn well he's there.
Yeah.
Pelt him with double damage Hard Light. That'd be fun. Never see it. You're right, though. It's pretty.
Plus in trials, you have to commit
I
to
like
it the whole time.
I like it for PvE though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, if you pre-fire somebody, they could come out with, no shields or something by the time they actually come around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's gonna be people out there that try to master this thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I definitely think it has more of a place in PvE than PvP. Like, a lot of enemies are really stationary, so you could just, find out how far below someone you need to shoot the floor to bounce it up to hit them and do extra damage.
Well, on top of that, the being able to switch the element is going to be huge for it being an energy weapon.
Yes.
That's right. So it's getting the
On the
Borealis
fly.
does that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's getting that ability where you hold down the reload button and it'll
Yep.
switch it between different. For Nightfalls, it's going to be big.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge for Nightfalls, and it might be huge for Prestige raids. Maybe. Because
I mean, it's big just because like if you match the element of a shield, it like does extra damage right when it breaks,
Mhm.
and so it just you can be prepared for any situation. Any
Exactly.
shield type.
yeah, and then get that double damage if you're crouching around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be a fun gun to use. I could see running strikes, Nightfalls with it for sure.
I could see people trying to get the perfect angle to ricochet one shot into Callus's face. It'd be like,
People have it memorized too. They will.
People like shoot here to perfectly hit a crit into his face with double damage when you're on Callus.
Yeah.
The montages are going to be amazing. Everybody's going to be staring like away from the boss.
Everyone, you created a meta where no one's actually aiming at each other.
It'd be pretty
I
amazing.
like that not all the guns are serious though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? They've got some that are all about doing, PvP type damage,
Mhm.
But this is the spirit of craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking
it's
of craziness, Borealis. This one's been all over Twitter. So Borealis.
What's Borealis? What?
Borealis? The
PS4
sniper rifle?
exclusive.
What? What?
PlayStation exclusive sniper rifle.
There's an exclusive on PlayStation? What?
It is.
Unfortunately.
For a year.
The Borealis, you will be able to, if you shoot a shielded enemy
Uh-huh.
with the same damage type, right? So if you shoot a void shielded enemy with a void bullet, then your next shot will do, or the rest of the magazine will do double damage,
Yeah.
What?
It's huge.
right?
What?
And
Yeah,
it works
it's
in
really
PvP.
cool.
Yeah. In PvP, it'll one-shot body with the double
Yeah,
damage.
one shot body. They specifically say it'll be one shot body.
Eh,
So
And you have the bullets until you either reload or die. So there's no timer
Right.
on them.
So wait, to proc it, you have to take off a shielded like enemy, right?
It has to be
Like
someone.
him.
So okay, it has to be
It has
someone
to
in
be
the
active-
super for
active
PvP.
Oh, okay, got it.
But okay, so the way it works is like in PvE, based off of what I can gather from this, in PvE, you just shoot something with a shield once, which usually always breaks the shield anyway.
Yeah.
And then you get extra damage for the rest of your clip, or until you switch the
Yeah, double damage.
the element. Double is it
Double-
is it
Double
exactly
damage
double?
is huge. Like,
Is it?
yeah, double damage.
Okay, yeah.
That's
So right
huge.
here it says I didn't read the whole thing.
I have a question for you guys. Is this the only example of a perk like this that isn't time gated? Like
The
we
Sturm-
no, the
these-
Sturm
Sturm
isn't
Drain.
time gated either.
of the so there's just like a new philosophy of them. That's
Little bit.
like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? Because usually
Yeah, that's a
these
good point.
you get a bonus for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Or
There's a little timer on the
Mhm.
side for the 10 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
what was that sniper in D1 that if you hit like all headshots?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. What was that? That was
It looked
PlayStation exclusive
amazing.
for a while too,
It
wasn't it?
looked amazing. It was a sniper that if you hit 3 headshots, the fourth one was like
I
a
can't
any
remember it.
kills anything shot.
It was an explosive
I
shot.
don't even remember.
Like a massive
It was really
explosion.
close.
Got it.
Oh.
Some meteor. Something.
Yeah, Meteor.
Zen meteor.
something
there
meteor.
it is.
Zen Meteor.
Zen
There you
meteor.
go.
So
I forgot about that.
mean,
I got that to proc one time in PvP.
Yeah, I don't
one
think I've ever
time I
got
got
it to
that to
proc.
actually happen.
I did it in PvE, but I mean,
Well, yeah. But this is I think that's awesome. Like, it makes me for the first
Yeah.
time go, damn, I wish that was on PC, because that's really useful in PvE, especially useful in PvE, but also
Yeah.
in PvP, like, it's going to be situational. Like, you got to have
So
somebody.
theoretically, this gun will come to PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
September.
gated at a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's interesting is in the clip
year
where they
to-
they
whatever.
showed in PvP, and it has 5 in the mag, 2 in the reserve. And with PV, if you want to proc that like one shot body thing, you have to kill a super. So in the clip that they showed, he switches it to solar, kills I think it was a Dawn Blade, and then every shot for the rest of the mag is a one shot body.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I don't think
if
you
you
gotta
have 5
kill
in the
the
mag-
super. I think you just
yeah.
got to break his shields.
No,
That's
he double bodied him. So it didn't proc until he got the kill in PvP.
Okay.
Interesting. That's a good balance.
So-
It's very situational.
that seems better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like the effort eat spear where you start a trials round and you hear someone firing off 2 shots and you know, oh, well, we got this
Exactly.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that's
Shout
what
out
the
to Corn Pops.
there's a bit of a there's like a Twitter conversation happening right now where a lot of people are considering or comparing it to Final Round, but it's not the same thing because
It's not.
with Final
Mhm.
Round you could literally waste all the bullets in your mag and have that ready to go on engagement. This is so situational, especially in PvP. The fact that you've got to take down a super with the same element bullet,
Yep.
right, to get this thing to happen.
You got to get ammo for it first. And then
You gotta get
somebody
ammo
on the
for
other
it.
team has to have the super
Yeah.
that they pop, that you're then ready
Yeah.
with the right element for it to
and
get a
then you gotta
headshot.
snipe 'em.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you have to snipe a super, which isn't easy to do.
Yeah.
No, so,
But
some of
if-
the supers are really
if
hard
you
to
can
snipe.
do that, you get, a
You're
maximum
rewarded
of
with
4 one-shot body shots.
You get rewarded with
Basically,
4
2 precision rocket.
4 insta kill toe shots.
Yeah.
For your
So like, let's say you're not missing, right? Because it's 5 in the mag. Your first shot, you get a headshot. Well, now you have 4 bullets. If you double body, you get 3 bullets. And obviously, if you miss shots, well, then you get even less. I mean, I don't think it'll be a problem.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying, like the stars need to align in order for that to happen.
Yeah.
But that's the clip worthy stuff, right?
It'd be cool. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like guns that everybody will like, oh, I got it to do it. You know, I got it to go. It's cool.
Should be cool.
Yeah.
So next, they talked a little bit about glory, valor, and combat. So they go into explaining a bit more about the Crucible rank. So we've known for a while that there's going to be 2 separate Crucible ranks. There's going to be one for competitive and one for quick play. The quick play competitive rank, which I believe is called Valor. Okay, Valor is going to be just additive. The more you play, the higher rank you get. There will be rewards in the Valor category. Let me see. Find the rewards here. It caps out at 2,000 rank points. It features win streak bonus points. Can be reset when fully completed with no cap on resets per season. It does reset automatically each season. It has an ornament, emblem, and weapon rewards. Requires a fixed number of Valor resets to earn some of the rewards. So prestiging. You can actually earn extra stuff from kind of just resetting it. And it'll be featured in Quick Play, Rumble, and Mayhem.
Yeah, that's for Valor. I think you also earn Valor by playing competitive.
Oh, so you earn both?
I'm pretty sure in competitive you get Valor and Glory.
So Glory works a little bit different.
Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure.
Glory caps out at 5,500 rank points. It features win streak bonus points. You get a lot of the same. You get a similar rewards that you would get from Valor, with the exception of it does feature a unique seasonal chase weapon that can be earned at the Fabled level, and they say about 40% of the way through your journey in Glory ranks. So the levels go Guardian, Brave, Heroic, Fabled. Fabled is the 4th one, Mythic, and then Legend. So it's not like you don't have to hit Legend to get the weapon. And then you could get I think you can get ornaments if you keep going higher during a season.
And we know
the only time
we know weapon that is, right? Already.
Yeah, we do. Does anybody remember the name of it?
Frederick's Claymore.
There it is. And it's a pretty cool weapon. It's a high impact pulse rifle that has a perk where if you score a kill, does it have to be a headshot kill?
You have to proc.
Has to be a headshot.
Proc
It has
outlaw.
to be a headshot.
You have to proc outlaw.
Okay. Yeah. It will then outlaw will proc, and then it will also fire at a faster fire rate for a high impact scout.
Are we allowed to talk about that gun?
Yeah.
They showed it in the reveal.
So
Cool.
Yeah, and we all have gameplay.
It was
of
fun
it
to
too.
use. It was a lot of
So when you proc Desperado, which is the new perk, it's essentially Grasp of Malak with messenger damage. Like it's just
Holy crap!
It's really fun. Once you get it to proc, like in PvE, it's a lot easier to get it to proc, and it just
we saw that from the gameplay they were showing in the reveal.
But in PvP, it's definitely you're gonna have to be good at it.
How long does it proc for? How long does Desperado last?
like you're gonna get your whole mag out. I don't know the exact timing on it, but it's a while. It's enough.
Damn.
It's like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean
that long, really?
I guess in PvP you could proc it and then you'd be searching around, so you might not just like unload your whole mag. But if you have enemies just in front of you, yeah, you'll get your whole mag out before the perk disappears.
So they also changed Outlaw. So after this update, Outlaw is going to work so that it refreshes as opposed to having a cooldown timer. So for instance, the way Outlaw works now is if I get a headshot and then reload and then get another headshot kill, if I'm still in that cooldown timer, Outlaw doesn't proc again.
And you can keep this gun going.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So now moving forward with Outlaw, you can just kind of keep procking it. Every time you get a headshot kill, it refreshes Outlaw. Is Desperado going to work that same way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Monster.
Yeah, you have to reload with Outlaw active to keep Desperado going.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so.
It's hard. It's hard to do, and you would have to be really like skilled at it. But there's going to be people who get good at the gun.
I think there's going to be people asking for that 8-player Rumble back.
So this is my opinion on the Registr's Claymore, is that like the gun at its base, if you ignore the perks on it, is not a meta gun at all. It's like an average pulse rifle. But when you proc Desperado, it's the best gun in the game, like period. It's amazing. So that's how it's balanced. It's like you have to use an average gun, but if you get that headshot with the average gun, it's the best gun in the game.
You're gonna melt people.
Yeah, it's like literally grasp them a lock rate of fire, but a lot of damage.
Dude, that
It's fun
as a
in
void
PvE.
block devouring. Good God.
Lupo was in a 1v4 survival situation, headshotted one guy, and then proc Desperado and just lasered the last 3 for the 1v4 clutch. I was like, holy.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. So I don't know if I'm actually going to use it because I like old fashioned, which is good on its own, but then becomes better with kill clip, right?
Mhm.
Whereas like Registr's Claymore is an average gun that becomes a god tier gun with the perk. So, I mean, we'll see. I might use it. I mean, I don't know. I need more time.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is like the way Destiny 1 works or Destiny 2 works now is like normally when you get into a gunfight, you're going to take damage, right?
Yep.
So, and if you got kind of a slower time to kill, like how often are you actually be able to take advantage of Desperado if you've got to hide behind a wall and wait for your health to come back too before you engage again?
You're gonna have to vulture off your teammates a lot.
Yeah.
Be like,
Right?
oh, you're hitting that. Okay, God, thanks. And I took that kill.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Reload.
pre-firing that guy.
It's going to be possible for somebody to get a multi-kill off of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and that's what I think is what the game needs. Is the ability for somebody to get that connection with a gun and take on 2-3 guys.
No, I'm with you. Like, I definitely think the gun is worth the grind, but I don't think it's like so far above every other weapon in the game that it's like a must-have, like, Thorn or Last Word in Year 1 Destiny.
Mhm.
But it is worthy of the grind. I don't know if I'm going to use it if I'm trying to like run a meta loadout in PvP, but we'll see.
I know I want it. I know I'm going to be in that competitive playlist this summer. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, when they revealed that, when they were talking about the Valor and Glory, I was like, okay, well, Valor and Glory, I'm assuming it's cosmetic. And then they showed the gun. I was like, okay, I'm for sure going to be climbing ranks, 100%, because I want this weapon. I want to be able to tame that.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, I really want to thank you, Gigs, for your offer to, carry me all the way to that gun. That was really
that's super
I'll
kind,
definitely
man.
be taking
Put
Thank
you
you.
on the list with the other 1,000 people that have said the same thing. I got you, man.
I don't expect him to play with me. Just do an account recovery. It's cool.
I am a little busy, to be honest.
I mean, I got this job I got to do. And
all the people in chat too, and everyone listening, I got you as well.
Sweet.
We'll just bring everyone by the
we
thousands.
just want Briar, Tefty, and I to be 1, 2, and 3 on your list, and you're good.
I'm good to
Yeah,
go.
2 weeks per person.
We just gotta do it before
I need to clone myself.
the next podcast showdown.
We've got a podcast showdown.
Well, we're gonna if we all get that gun.
Yeah, you're right. Team shots.
So I've seen a lot of people complaining about like how much time it's going to take to get this thing. I'm pretty sure it's not as easy as just going flawless, right? You're not going to be able to get to the Fabled rank and get the Registr's Claymore as easy as like just doing a trials card. It is going to be a time commitment. So if someone were to like, oh, you got carried to your thing or whatever, it's a time commitment. And one person holding the team back, let's say it's someone actually getting carried, it's not going to be something that's easy to do.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because there was some conversations throughout the week, concerns from the community that this would be out of reach for a lot of players. How do you guys feel about that? Is that okay for a gun like this to be out of reach of casual?
I literally asked Luke Smith, is it okay for some stuff to be out of reach for some players when he was on the podcast? I am definitely in support of that. Like, it's okay. Like, that's okay. Not everybody is going to have everything. There's going to be some stuff that's super hard to get.
Yep.
So
that's how you keep the hardcore players playing.
I felt the same thing with a little bit of a caveat.
Mhm.
There has to be enough of the base game for the casual player to feel rewarded, right?
Mhm.
To have stuff that's good. So the vendor guns need to be palindrome, right? They need to be guns that are good. so that, and there can be these awesome guns that we find.
I feel like that's already in the
Wild,
game
but-
though right now. Like base D2 is that. You can get a whole set of weapons that work for you if you're a casual player. Like it's there already. Now we need things to chase after for people who want to invest more time.
I agree. I'm not saying it's not. I completely agree. I've been a proponent of this as well. But in order for there not to be the saltiness from the casual community, I think there needs to be enough new things for them to get.
Right. In a way, I feel like if somebody is salty about that, then they're not really a casual player either, because most casual players don't care about that stuff. They play the game for a little bit, then move on to other games and might circle back to it a few months later, something like that. So it's like it's a different category. It's more of how much effort should go into obtaining rewards type of player, regardless of how many hours they put into a game.
I'm not so sure it's going to be that hard to get either. Like, okay, so
It's not.
you got 0 to 5,500 points. 5,500 points is like max. That's as much as you can get, and that's the legendary, right?
Yeah,
They're saying this is 40% of the way to 5,500, right? So I'm guessing that the majority of players who actually put in some time into competitive will be able to get this thing, because there's going to be there's a lot of room in that top 60. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, think there's an opportunity for everybody to go after loot that's meaningful to them, and that's really what I meant. It's of that community. What's meaningful? A meaningful chase for them. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hardcore players want to see stuff like this, right?
Absolutely.
Hardcore casuals like me. I mean, that's a new term I've coined this
casual
week. I'm a hardcore casual.
A dedicated casual.
Dedicated casual. Yeah, I dream. I'm grasping at the coattails of these kinds of rewards, and I may get them. I may not. I might have enough time. I might not. But it's fun to have that chase.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs their white whale.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's highlighted aggressively when there's a weapon that people want from the Nightfall. Like how many people are grinding the Nightfall when the DFA is out, and how many people are grinding the...
Just drop that in our pub. It's fine.
Yeah. How many people are grinding for that ship?
Nobody. I did the Nightfall once this week. I don't plan on going back.
I
haven't even seen the ship. I don't even know what it looks like.
Same. I heard it was a ship, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing the Nightfall.
I'll give it a shot one time.
I mean, the Nightfall is fun.
Yeah, I did it once.
There's a lot of things in Destiny that are fun.
Shooting
the weapons are fun.
Aura? Tefty, do you have the aura?
I completely forgot about the aura.
All right, well.
It doesn't last 2 weeks. I think I have it from last week.
The aura is meaningful, and I enjoy it.
Do you?
Thank you very much.
That's great.
Yeah.
I enjoy in PvP when players have aura, because it shows me where they are above that rock they're hiding behind. So thank you for rocking that aura, Pope.
I was talking about
really
this.
helped.
I was talking about this on stream, I think like yesterday or the day before. And if you could call in a tactical nuke from that ship because it was your ship, like it had some sort of ability attached to it that was exclusive to the ship attribute that affected the gameplay, then 100% I'd be going for it. And if some of these exotic ghosts had specialized weapons that were attached to them, that you could turret mode your ghost because it was an exotic, like we'd all be chasing after those items. 100%.
You could overcharge your ghost and it could explode like a missile.
That sounds great. That sounds like an exotic ability. I would grind the Nightfall for that a ghost right there. But as is right now, because it's cosmetic.
It's a sparrow.
Or a sparrow, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of them.
There actually is.
Oh, what? What is it?
Yeah, there's one of them that you charge up. You remember like the year one that if you
the one that would explode after charging too much?
Yeah.
Got it. You said ghost, and I was like, that sounds like a cool ghost.
Yeah, that's my bad. I mean,
I definitely want an exploding ghost.
I want an exploding ghost, please. I want to pull it out and be like, and then it flies out and boom.
Holtzman, can I have an exploding ghost, please?
Yeah, and if we don't get it, I'm blaming it on you,
man. We
man.
have a guy on the inside though, so like we can anything that we want in the game, we can just ask him, right?
Right.
The point is, all of those perks, all those things would make me grind the Nightfall for those things. but because it's a cosmetic, my desire is like not even cut in half. It's like brought down to 5%.
Let me ask you, Ted.
Well,
are you coming up with these ideas
in Destiny 1 that I wanted, like Tanyx's cloak, the
I was about to say, what if it's
Those
a really
dope
good
cosmetics because you saw them all the time. Ghosts you hardly ever see. Pharaohs.
Like what if the ship in the Nightfall literally just made your ship a giant taco? Is that something you'd go grind?
Yes.
And it was only available this week.
That sounds like Call of Duty.
100%. Absolutely. Craziness. Like if I could have a space donut that I'm flying in, I would grind that. Get a maple glazed space donut. I'm going to put some hours in that.
I don't want maple glaze. I don't want
tacos. But what if it just looked really cool? Because I feel like that's something definitely lacking in D2. Is
I think some of them
the
are
cosmetics
cool.
are.
What if it was like the Lost in Space spaceship? Like it was just like a flying saucer spinning around. That'd be awesome.
So this is part of the problem of Destiny is that it takes it very serious, the stuff that gets put in the game, and these cosmetics visually look great. They're beautiful and they fit in the construct of the game and so on and so forth. But in Monster Hunter World, I'm taking the time to go collect a Mega Man Palico so I can make my cat look like Mega Man. It makes no sense in the Monster Hunter World universe, but because it looks like Mega Man, I want it. Just like a space taco. If I could have a space taco that I'm flying in orbit, 100% I'm going to go get the space taco.
I want a taco.
I don't think Bungie's going to do that. They're not going to put marijuana leaves on as a skin on your Suros.
It's just a plant.
You can't get bacon. You're not going to get bacon on your shotguns. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
It should though. No, I'm just kidding.
It should not.
No, the cosmetics it should kind of go back to Age of Triumph style. Like those cosmetics were really good. And I feel like we haven't really had anything like that. Like I don't care about any of these cosmetics because like I saw the shit for the Nightfall. I was considering grinding it. I saw it and I was like, I don't like it. Right. So I'm not going to go grind that.
Also, there's a lot of people out there that are not represented in this conversation that enjoy cosmetics.
What do you mean, Pope? I don't understand.
True.
There's other people who like cosmetics.
No, that's true. 100%.
But I would bet that if you were to look at the amount of Nightfall completions on the week of DFA or the sniper, and then look at the completions
I would
this
love
week
to
for
see
a ship,
that data.
I'm sure it's night and day.
Yeah, I think you just via Twitch numbers, you can tell that the interest for getting those drops that are actual weapons are much higher in comparison to getting cosmetics to drop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt it. I mean, everybody would, in priority, more people would go after a good gun. But I'm telling you, I really like having the auras. I love grinding.
Yeah, well, you only got to do one Nightfall to get the aura.
Yeah, that's it.
But I like to grind the Nightfalls. And I like to grind strikes and then switch my, depending on what map I'm going into, I switch my player card to give the team a boost.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy changing my loadouts and adjusting as I go, depending on the strike. I like to do that. That's the kind of player I am.
It's really interesting though, Gigs, like you bringing up the idea of a space taco, and as ridiculous as it sounds, I feel like that is the type of cosmetics that this game could use. Not specifically a space taco, but something along those lines. Because when you unlocked Grunt Birthday in Reach, were you going to use anything other than Grunt Birthday?
And what was the final one? Like Inclement Weather Fighting Inheritor or whatever?
Something, but the Grunt Birthday was it.
I mean, yeah, it was the thing. Yeah,
it was it.
I was actually just about to bring that up. Is like if you look back at Halo Reach, and to anyone that doesn't know about Halo Reach, there was like it's things like the Nightfall aura that you could put on your character, but they're a lot better than just like half of a crown above your head. Like there was something called Grunt Birthday Party, where if you got headshotted, a bunch of confetti came out, and you just heard a
yay! It was like
and then there's like one. It was like it put like a bunch of stank around your character, like you look stinky.
Yes.
There's one that put like a bunch of hearts around your character. There's one that put like a storm with like. There's like a storm with like a bunch of electricity.
Yep.
There's one that just put your whole head into a blue flame. No, I think that was the one for getting Inheritor, which was ridiculously hard to get.
It's the Bungie flame,
yeah. And
the hearts were hilarious. Like when you were trying to be a gunner, when somebody was driving in a warthog, and the hearts would cover up your vision because they would float up. Oh crap! I can't see anything. Yeah.
I like that ghost that we got from Crimson Doubles this year that has like the confetti coming off the back of it. That was fun. Like that's a cool ghost. It feels unique because it has like that little effect to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of the things that they're doing with the exotic emotes, like that's all steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
I would love if you were to get Legend Glory, which is the highest like skill based rank in the ranking system. If at the end of it you got like a flaming head type of thing,
That'd be cool.
Like I really think that I don't think this is high on the priority list at all, obviously, but stuff like that would be actually, those are cosmetics that I want to grind. Like if you told me if I get highest rank in Glory, like if I achieve Legend and I get my whole character's head becomes on fire or something like that, like yeah, I'm gonna go get that.
That's cool.
You know, I feel like they really should have saved the salt emote for that. It's a missed opportunity. They really could have maximized on that.
Oh man. I hope the Legend tier reward is interesting. They said it's secret right now.
Yeah, well don't we know that, what is it? It's we get the gun in Fabled.
Right.
Then I think Mythic we get a cosmetic for it. We get a skin for it, right? And then Legend we don't know yet.
Yeah, Legend's secret.
Yes.
So it'd be great if something like that.
Well, that's the whole thing behind it. Something at the top tier that one of the ideas I had is showing off your badassness in the tower, right? When we land in the tower, I know this is kind of off topic, but our ghosts should be automatically out, right? They shouldn't be in. We should have them floating above our shoulder to show off that ghost, right? Some of these cosmetics need, it'd be cool if we could show people, right?
Yeah.
That being said, running around the tower with a gun that shows where you've been and a ghost that has how many,
your counter ghost
times you've gone flawless or whatever, so it's visible.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that is cool for the tower that allows you to show off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in
flexing,
the old strike rewards, even they had armor pieces that were really cool. We mentioned the Scion Flare cloaks and Tanix's cloak, but they also had like that armor for Titans, like that armor that came from the brothers. They had a bunch of stuff it was just cool, It allowed you to like kind of customize your character, and it was all, some of it was really hard to get. Like it was really low drop rate. So like when you saw it, you're like, oh, where'd that come from? And how do I get it? That kind of stuff is neat,
Yeah.
And it allows you to feel like your character is personalized because not everybody looks just like you.
I think there's also something special about like killing Tanix and getting his cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I agree.
Derek Carroll was back in the TWAB talking about matchmaking. So they're switching up the matchmaking in update 1.2.0 in an effort to help solo players out, right? So going into matchmaking in 1.2.0, if you are in a full fire team and you match against a team of solo players, you're more likely to match against solo players that have basically a higher elo than you do, right? To give the solo players more of a fighting chance.
Yep. Well, I know
That's interesting.
that the way the game works, right? Like if you're running in a team of 4, right? I know that the game tries to match you against another team of 4. And if matchmaking times are taking too long, then it kind of just says like, oh, whatever, throw some solos in there. And so I would imagine that now, I'm sure that system still exists if you're running in a squad of 4 players, a stack squad, and the game's probably still going to try to match you against another team of 4. And then if it's taking too long, they'll match you with like random players, like solo players at a higher rank than you. I think the biggest advantage with being in a stacked team right now, though, is just the communication factor.
Yeah.
And that there's so many walls. There's so many walls in this game that prevent you with talking to random players in the world, right? Which is something that I really hammered in on at the summit, was that like it needs to be easier to talk to your random teammates. Like if I go into competitive and I'm searching and I go into a game, I expect to be able to talk with my players, right? Because there's something on the line with like your rank, right? So people are going to care about winning that game and they're going to want to communicate, but to allow people to actually do that easily.
There was a lot of feedback that competitive playlists should be opt-out audio.
Yeah, it should be. It really shouldn't be much more difficult than just plug in your mic and be able to talk.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole game should be opt-out, and there should be a very easy way to mute people.
Yeah.
Like by just like clicking one button, seeing a list of people, and being able to easily click on each person to mute them.
It's called press. I mean, that literally exists right now. You press U, at least for PC, you press U, it pulls up the roster, click on their name, mute. Like, it's not really a task to mute someone.
Yeah. The whole game should be opt out.
I mean, I get why they have it the way it is, right? Because you have some little kid just screaming out racial slurs or something. But I feel like when you, in my experience, when you get into a competitive environment, like, yeah, people can be toxic, but for the most part, people care about just trying to win.
Well, especially for the glory stuff. I mean, it actually seems very weird at this point if they're going to bring that in and it's still opt in. Like, you need to be able to talk to your teammates if you're going to solo queue into that.
With no radar, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's why having a 4-player fire team is going to really matter, because you know you're going to be able to communicate without a radar, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is an interesting solution to this problem. I wonder if it'll work out. You know, like what I kind of expected when they started mentioning this earlier in the week was that they would, you know, try and further prioritize solos match with solos, like 2 different buckets, right? Solos and teams and teams. And if there's longer matchmaking, so be it. You know, we played Iron Banner last week. Matchmaking times took forever, but it was worth it because the game mode was super fun. So everybody had fun, right?
I'm okay. Were you playing on PC or console?
Yeah, I was playing on PC.
I didn't have long.
No?
Apparently it was a bug.
PC is a little longer.
Apparently it was a bug where if somebody was tabbed out, if like one person was tabbed out, it would take longer to fly in or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
If you had a large team, it would bug out and wouldn't load up the game until you booted someone as well. But I'm sure that's going to get fixed.
Yeah.
Straight up, though, I am okay with longer matchmaking times if I have a better match because of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's just the other
with that compromise.
You could potentially not get a match, right? Like, let's say you're a legend rank or a mythic rank, and it forces, if you're in a team of 4 and you have to match another team of 4, maybe there isn't a team of 4 on in your rank, right?
True.
So
yeah.
And with the way the ranks is, it's pretty. It's a wide margin, right? 0 to 5,500, and so there's you need a very large population to make something like that work.
Yeah, maybe something like crossplay could help with that.
You don't say.
Crossplay would be cool.
What's that?
Why not? Multiple platforms could play together in a game like Fortnite.
Nobody does that.
You're right. It'll never.
Okay.
I mean, even something as simple as like as you're loading into the match, like let's say for ranked, it's like a pop-up comes up being like, hey, the match is about to start, like join voice chat, right? And then if you press one button and then boom, you're in the voice chat, and it shows like everyone that's in the voice chat. So if you see someone isn't, you can like type in the text chat and be like, hey, like join the voice chat, which speaking of, console should get text chat, but like, because I don't know. I mean, I would rather have just automatic, like opt in automatic, and then you have the option to opt out. But even something like an alert as the match is loading up would solve the communication error.
There's a text chat.
Nobody uses that.
There's text chat in Monster Hunter World for console. Apparently, you can just plug in your keyboard and it automatically works.
There you go.
Yeah,
like a USB keyboard or one of those like keyboards that plugs into the bottom of your controller.
I haven't tried it yet. I'm pretty sure a USB keyboard or like a PlayStation approved keyboard, you can hook up like a regular keyboard, and then you could type messages in there.
What if it's hooked to a Zim?
Nice keyboard.
Yeah,
looks nice.
I show you the gift Patrick gave me.
Oh,
it's nice. I have that same keyboard.
Logitech?
I love that keyboard.
It is really nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were talking about keyboards.
Nice.
Is that the G Pro?
Yeah.
It's whatever Patrick gave me. I have no idea.
It is the Pro.
Oh, it looks good.
Oh, yeah. Solid.
Yeah. It feels good too. It's like I'm massaging technology.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I feel every time I use my keyboard.
Switches.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm touching it and it's just like
You're activating switches.
Oh yeah.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Sounds good to me. Did we cover the whole TWAB?
Things
that matter.
Did we talk about computer parts?
No, I was actually just going to bring up on-air PCs information. I was hoping that somebody could vamp while I was doing that, but you really called me out on it.
She was calling out Briar. I'm excited about the DLC. I really am. I'm excited to get in, grind some Destiny. I've been wanting to be able to stream some Destiny and feel excited about it for a while. And it's just funny, like having a weapon like DFA show up and make me do 35 nightfalls. I haven't done that many nightfalls in the entirety of Destiny 2. So,
That's not even the gun I want the most out of the strikes. I want the sniper rifle far more.
I just want new stuff. I want new weapons.
Well,
Yeah.
2 weeks from now, we'll have new
weapons.
stuff.
Yeah.
New
And we'll be grinding
I'm
like crazy
excited
to
for
get
the
into it
DLC
regular.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people can agree the two biggest issues that most people have with this game is the chase, the player progression, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of reason to play activities, and then two, the raw gameplay, right?
Yeah.
And I think that with this DLC, it takes in terms of progression, a lot of steps in the right direction, which I'm tired of that phrase, but I think it's actually solving a lot of that problem. And then hopefully the exotics as well help out with the raw gameplay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I would like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, On Air PC. If you are a Twitch streamer looking to build a new streaming PC, or if you are a gamer looking to build a new gaming rig, On Air PC is an easy phone call away. You can simply give them a call, 330-850-1525, and you get customized support. They basically will help you walk you through building a new PC specific to your needs. So if you want to game and stream on the same PC, they can help you build that PC. They can give you exactly what you need to get that done. If you just want a straight gaming PC, again, you can do it. And it's much easier than looking at a list of motherboards and graphics cards and processors on a website. If you don't know what any of these things are, having to try and figure out what the difference is between this motherboard and that motherboard is, and why is it $50 difference in price? You need to worry about that without Air PC.
Brian, do I have to know about computers to give them a call and know what I want?
I believe, Pope, that you have a functioning on-air PC. I think you are the answer to that question.
Damn it, Briar. I want. Right.
Pope, did you know what the difference?
Is clearly no. You don't know how to have to know anything about computers.
Anything about computers,
Okay.
And I was able to work with them very easily to have a computer built and sent to me. It's great, perfect, exactly what I wanted, and I felt like they were really responsive.
He actually wanted to mention that because when your PC showed up, it actually had an issue. From shipping, there was an issue. So he actually was able to work with you and get that thing fixed, on the phone, which is, that's what you get with On-Air PC is you get, when you call them up, you get a person, you talk to a person who knows their shit. And if you have a problem after you've bought the PC, after you've taken delivery of the PC, you give them a call and they'll work you through it. Again, that phone number is 330-850-1525. That's On Air PC. And thank you for being our sponsor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Twitter questions.
Yes. Let's do
We got a lot of them, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to get through them all.
We're not going to quit until it's done.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm on board with this plan. Aaron Hag says, question for Gigs and for our host. Would you say in the next thing you'd like to see Bungie address they haven't mentioned yet? What would you say is the next thing you'd like to see Bungie address that they haven't mentioned yet? Is there an elephant still in the room in your opinion?
I'll let you guys answer that.
For me, it's going to be how weapon slots and randomization happen in the fall. I know it's not happening with this DLC. I'm aware of that, but like the things that I would like some clarity on and to see in the future is like the weapon slot system, weapons in general, and what type of randomization things are coming down the road. Because right now it's a giant void, like nebulous thing. I know it's changing. Yeah. That's all I know.
That's what I know too, right? Is like you get some super vague language for the future. I don't really know what any of it means. I'm just kind of hopeful that it's going to be better than what we got and not worse than what we got.
Yep.
All of my main concerns at the summit I was able to bring up, so it's like I can't really answer that question. Everything that I've had to get off my chest, I was able to get off my chest.
I would say there is one thing that's not really Destiny 2 related. It may be in the future, but like we're getting close to seeing, like we're hearing strong rumors about new consoles, like the PS5, the Xbox, whatever that's going to be called. Like we're getting, like those things are starting to get heavy rumors. We're starting to hear that, they're putting together specs for it. Development kits, early development kits are starting to get sent out. Like we may see the new consoles in 2019 or 2020.
I
Right?
think 2020 personally.
I don't know. It could be, who knows? But if we are still in a Destiny 2 life cycle at that point, or if we're looking at the release of Destiny 3 along with those, I want this game to run 60 frames per second on console.
Hell,
period.
yes.
It has to. Yeah.
And if they can't do it on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, like I really think they should. Like they should be targeting that, and like whatever they do designing the game, if you have to go lower graphic, I'd rather play 720p at 60 frames per second, Like I really want them to focus on 60 frames per second in the future. And if it takes the next generation hardware, fine, but target that hard.
Screw it. I want them at like 90 frames per second. You know what I mean?
The Xbox One now supports 120 hertz.
Does it really?
Yeah, the
Xbox One,
yeah.
Xbox X
I
One
love it
box.
when you guys talk.
That's
tech.
the one.
Nice.
So sexy.
Box X.
I do it just for you.
Thank you. Sometimes I just call you just to have you. I ask you, hey, I got to put this computer together, and then and I don't really, but I just want you to tell me about it.
Walk me through the CPU insertion.
So I gotta glue my
How
processor onto my motherboard, baby.
how forcibly do I
it?
have to insert this RAM stick?
Very forcibly.
Can I push it hard? When I hear it click, is it too hard? Should I back
It's
off?
too hard. Too hard.
Too much. Oh my god. You bent a pin.
Bison says, for gigs, how does Bungie find that balance with weapon slots? Because Destiny 1 after the Taken King became Sniper Shoddy primary and primaries as secondary.
Wait. What?
One more time.
How does Bungie find the balance with weapon slots? Because Destiny 1 after the Taken King became Sniper Shoddy primary and primaries as secondary. So he's asking, like, how does Bungie find that balance, right? How do they figure it out?
Oh, I know. They told us at the. Never mind.
I mean, I know, but I'm not going to tell you. But
You guys
that's I can't comment on that. I'm sorry.
No, how about you guys? Like,
We've answered this 100 times.
yeah, I'll blink if you get it right.
Torchy says, what are DCP looking forward to the most? The Hunter buff, the return of the Dead Zone Revolution, or the inevitable Destiny card game that will soon be in production?
100% the card game. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Magic.
What if Grimoire cards had like art, like Magic cards?
Oh, I'd be into that for sure. Oh, that'd be cool. Can't say I'd play it, but I'd be into the art.
No.
No,
The pictures look nice,
You're a resident Magic player now.
Have I? Yeah,
Definitely.
I've been upgraded.
Yeah.
By
Yes, you are
default now. I don't know if I'd call it an upgrade.
I've
More of
been
a lateral
side graded.
It's kind of actually like a little bit over and down a step. but
Okay,
not
yeah,
much.
sure,
I
you
mean,
know.
it's just
Yeah,
like a step.
makes sense.
Brian Marsh says, in Destiny's rank play, are we playing against players with the same rank or against everyone no matter the rank?
There's skill-based matchmatching.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be skill.
I don't know.
So, yeah, if you're playing for Glory in the competitive playlist, which Glory is what, like, it shows how skillful you are. Valor just shows how much time you're putting in. If you're in competitive playing for Glory, yeah, there's very strict skill-based matchmaking. And then quick play is like very,
when you got
very
to 50 in
loosey-goosey.
Halo, you're
Mhm.
50. You're playing against other 50s,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
I love those. I love that.
I love that I could solo queue and know that I'm getting at least decent players on my team, and I'm going to be playing against decent players.
Yep.
Gigs, let me ask you a question. Do you use a VPN?
I will.
Yeah.
For sure.
And is that
Yeah.
because you're nervous about how
Scared.
some of the glory rankings, how thirsty some people are going to be for glory and what techniques they might
Right.
use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's what I'm hoping, that because it's a grind to get to legend, right? And people are going to want to hit legend.
Mhm. It's going to be coveted.
That it's such a time effort that you wouldn't, and I hope that their security is so good that you wouldn't actually be able to cheat your way all the way to the highest rank,
Mhm.
right? That you'd be detected way beforehand before you do too much damage to other players and then get banned.
Yeah.
I'm
So you're hoping that there will be a few casualties along the way, but
People are going to cheat.
but you're hoping that
That's
they catch them
inevitable.
quick and then like permanently boot them if they do find they're doing stuff like that.
They did mention this week that they are up in, they got some new security measures in place. They, of course, can't be specific about it because if you know what those things are, you're going to figure out a way to work around them. But
yeah,
they have upgraded.
I mean, like obviously dedicated servers would help out a lot, right? And
I'm sure,
but even
I'm sure
with
that was
dedicated
brought
servers,
up, right?
Oh, I brought up dedicated servers
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't completely fix. So, I mean, we haven't been saying it, but I'm just gonna say it. DDoSing, right?
Mhm.
Because you can DDoS an entire dedicated server. It's not as easy to do, but it is possible, right? So, like, pretty much no matter what you do, people are gonna cheat.
Right.
But I'm really hoping that their security is gonna be really good because now that people have a reason, to do it, they're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be some scumbag out there.
I mean, it was so easy in Call of Duty when you're doing your ranked.
It's easy in Destiny.
Well, I mean, it was very prevalent in combat.
Prevalent in Destiny.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I don't ever get DDoS.
Well,
no one really has a reason to right now.
What are you trying to say, Gigs?
I'm trying to say you're trash. No.
They don't have to worry about me? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying there's no incentive to.
Sure.
They're not playing for anything. Except
No,
I guess
no,
for
no,
trials.
I hear you. No, I'm not scary enough. They don't need to DDoS me because they don't
You're
have to worry.
trash, Poe.
I get it.
Tim Clark says, question, why do you think Bungie felt the need to NDA the answers to your questions about why Destiny was designed the way it was? These could surely be explained without spoiling future content.
I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to say this, but like imagine, so we see a peek into the future, right? And it would be like this. We all come back from the summer like it's gonna be like this, and then they end up changing it, right? And then they're like, you guys are liars. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why.
So Tim Clark is, I think, specifically asking. I think it might not have been the focus of the community summit, right? When you guys went there, I would assume that you were looking at the future.
That's
and I think
the answer, Brian.
What Tim's looking at is asking questions. I think he's looking at it more like a reporter than somebody who's trying to just like improve the game. I think it's a different way of asking questions.
Is he asking about like why can't we comment on like why decisions were made for the game, like in the past? Okay, well the reason
like
for that
if you
is
went in there and said, why did you guys make this game casual?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's asking why couldn't you say what Bungie's answer?
I know that based off of like the conversations I had with everyone there and even my own point of view, it's like, does it matter? Do we need to know why? Like, I mean, it is important to an extent, I guess, but really we're here where we are now and we're focused on getting better and what needs to be fixed. I'm not interested in knowing why did you give us 2 primaries and take away the special slot. I'm interested in how can we make this better, right? So we only had
honestly, Briar, the focus of the summit. We had this moment at the beginning where we're like, where do we want to start?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a conversation as to do we start with the why or do we start with the, what can we do, right? And so that was really where we started because we wanted to maximize the short amount of time we had there. I'm sure if we had more time, we would have gone into, all of that, but it just didn't seem relevant.
I like Tim, want the answer to the question.
Sure.
Because I'm curious about him, but I don't think it was the point of this summit, right? It was the goal. When Jason Schreier's new book comes out, that'll be, that'll be what we're reading about, right?
True.
Like that's more the format, I think.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it. So it's not like we're holding any answers back. It's that we got to business with fixing or working on looking at how the game is progressing in the future. We didn't have a whole lot of time when it all boiled down to it. We had a lot of stuff to talk about. So I understand what Tim is asking for, but that wasn't the time and a place to do it. And I think that, if he wants those answers, he needs to definitely ask them. And, like Jason from Kotaku also look into it. But that was,
also do you guys remember that podcast that they did? Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy did like way back in like October or November.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of those answers are there. You can listen to that podcast, and I think
true.
a lot of those answers are right there.
I mean, I get wanting to know in terms of like not repeating the same mistake twice, right?
Yeah.
But like we really only had a certain amount of time, and our whole goal there was to make what we have right now better, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're looking to the future and trying to give feedback for the future and to make Destiny 2 the best game we can possibly make it based off of what we have now.
So my question to you guys who went then would be: did anybody ask the question, what is the design goal of Destiny right now? Like, what are you targeting? Like, because that I think is a question. Is like with reflecting on what they've done in the past and what the community seems to want. Like, do those goals line up? I think that is an important question, and I think it is important to answer. You know, like, was that asked? Were you guys satisfied with the conversation that you had?
Yeah. That it was discussed. I mean, I can't say what they said, but and to be fair, there were a couple questions of why did you do this when we were there, right? Some people did ask that. But again, we can't say anything. So
Pint Size says, what do you think was Bungie's design choice around making Escalation Protocol take place in a public space rather than being its own launchable activity? Really excited to give it a go, but I hope it's not something that becomes ignored after a few weeks.
it's most likely going to become something that becomes ignored after a few weeks.
Yeah, I think it's probably.
It's just it's another Archon's Forge. I mean, I brought that point up. I was like, because do you guys know about the Court of Oryx cheese? I'll explain it even if you don't. So like, you can only load into a public space with a 3-man fire team, right? But if you find another random player there, you can whisper them and be like, hey, invite my friends. And then all of a sudden you find another blueberry, and you say, hey, invite my friends. And then now you have a 9-man fire team, right? Yeah. So I brought up the point of like, it would have been cool to be able to do something like that without having to go through all those steps of like, you know, having it just be a launchable have an actual like 9-man fire team activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
if you wanted to.
Or just another 6-man activity. The game really could use another 6-man activity that isn't just a raid or the occasional.
I don't understand why patrols can't be 6-man activities. Like I just don't get it. It'd be so much fun to be able to just hang out and do a patrol while you're waiting for your raid team to form up, you know, or you're waiting. You know, like why can't? What is it about patrols that can't makes it not able to be a 6-man activity? Why is it restricted to 3?
I mean, in Vault of Glass, you were technically starting in the patrol zone, and you could go around the whole patrol with 6 players, right? So yeah, I mean, it's a good.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, because it's like you could have that 9-man fire team. You didn't need a 9-man fire team for that activity, but you had the option to do that.
And it was fun.
And it was fun to do.
You could technically solo it, but I'm pretty sure that it was designed around a 3-man fire team. Maybe. Yeah. So
but just having like that many people in a fire team is fun. You're laughing.
It's crazy.
Fun of each other. It's like it's just a good time.
People are putting
have you guys done
putting in the runes and the tokens and all that, you know, to activate the events.
Have you done a 9-man like Court of Oryx or Archon's Forge?
Did it back when it was popular.
Yeah, it's super fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And then when it was popular again, so we were for ranking up for what were we ranking up for? Was it
pretty sure Rise of Iron? It was actually beneficial to go to Court of Oryx.
Yeah, you could get artifacts, I think.
Yep. You'd level up Eris.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
That's what it was, leveling up Eris. Yep.
So you could get an artifact.
Yeah, that was good times. Like it's the social aspect. People enjoy about it.
Farming keys. Oh my god, that brings back memories.
Yeah, I'm happy that they're bringing in something like Archon's Forge, but I'm also disappointed that, like, to this day, we've never seen something that has randomized dungeons. And I know it's difficult to take on and have the same art level with the type of game Destiny has for it, but like, it's such a no-brainer. Like, even randomized enemies initially, just some events, like a player space, and then randomize enemies. Like, that's step 1 for some dungeon, and then have some tiers that go up. The higher and higher you can go, and the enemies get more and more difficult. But then dungeons that actually have tile sets, kind of like how they do in Warframe, and that are different essentially every time you play them. It's such a no-brainer for PvE content.
I mean, they kind of did it with Infinite Forest, but it was literally just a glorified tech demo that is a walkway because you run through the whole thing.
It's a loading screen.
Yeah, essentially.
And their language when they were talking about the Infinite Forest before it came out too was really kind of hinting at that was the direction they were going.
My phone just died literally as I was getting a message from Dylan about a possible, if we were interested in a Bungie versus DCP showdown.
Hell yeah, we are.
Yes.
Can we start talking shit now?
Yes.
Or we gotta wait till we get on Twitter after the show.
So we're gonna DMG and I are gonna 1v1. We're gonna 1v1 this. Boom. And then afterwards, because we've got that grudge match. He's been talking smack.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're gonna drop into a straight Bungie versus DCP. I mean, it's just gonna get real.
Yeah, bring it.
Showdown.
It's a showdown.
Cool.
It's a showdown.
It's a showdown. We've got ourselves a showdown, son. Yeah. What do you guys think? You want to do it?
Absolutely.
Claymores.
I mean, since we got invited on to do that, I mean, since we were challenged, we were threatened, right?
Mm-hmm. You're coming to my house, threaten my Pope Bear
podcast. Doesn't that make him an honorary member of the podcast? Right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
I think so. Giggs is on the team, man.
I mean,
hell yes.
Hey, if you guys want me,
you got suckered into not suckered into, but you got tied up in a internet showdown, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll help you guys beat down on Bungie. Let's do it.
Let's go.
I honestly I can't remember whether or not Giggs is good at PvP, guys. I can't. So
I don't know,
it just happens to be that you're on the podcast with us. So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, Bungie's just throwing around threats.
Yeah, just
something interesting here.
I mean, Dylan's writing checks he can't cash, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
something interesting to think about is Holtz could be on Team Bungie.
Oh yeah, interesting.
No,
I hear sweet revenge when I hear that.
That would be funny. Oh man, so Dylan, Cosmo, Deej, Erk, Bungie. Your answer is hell yeah.
Watch you turn on the phone and then like the next text message is, hey, keep this under wraps for a couple months before we
it died. And so he very well may have said something.
Don't mention this until we confirm details, but we're thinking.
It's too late. He threw down the gauntlet. He got me riled up.
Taganubo 93 says, should seasonal cosmetics and weapons put in the normal loot pool after the season's end, or after the season it was introduced in?
Wait, what?
So after a season is over, should the seasonal cosmetics be put into a normal loot pool?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to say hell no.
There needs to be an event maybe 1 year, 2 years later that has them all unlocked for like 2-3 weeks that you can grind for. But like, if they're for the season, they're for the season.
There's something about like I was there that makes it special, and if you bring that forward, then it loses that special.
Do you remember D1 Queen, the first Queen event? Those how rare those guns were.
Yeah, that sniper. Yeah,
and the armor,
dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Druce says exotic tuning pass looks very exciting. If able, can you guys say whether or not you're just as excited about the impact currently unknown new legendaries may have on the new meta? Redrix, for example, has my attention.
Yeah, I'm definitely like I'm really excited about the DLC. Looking forward to like the big sweeping changes that are coming in for the.
I think anybody who's used those weapons can't probably talk about them, and anybody who can talk about them hasn't used them.
Based on what I've seen, I'm very excited to play on the 8th. Yeah.
Well, are we talking legendaries? Because we're allowed to talk about what we played in like our gameplay.
Legendaries. He's speaking specifically of legend.
I mean, so the Redrix's Claymore is cool. It piques my interest. I don't know if it's going to be in my main loadout. We'll see. I think it's worth the grind though. Don't get me wrong. I was saying this earlier in the podcast, but the new shotgun, right? That you melee an ogre and then it's a full auto shot.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
I didn't even notice this when I was playing, but John posted the SMG that if you break something shields, it takes more damage with your kinetic weapon. So that's really interesting.
Did you talk about the plunger with the axe on top?
The what?
Yeah. The plunger. with the,
Sure, with the
weapon. It was a melee weapon with a plunger.
Oh,
and
you were able to break down walls with it too, and then like
yeah,
build a
and then
tower.
Oh,
and trees and rocks and stuff.
Wow, that's a new Bungie.
Oh.
Wow,
Yeah, they're trying new stuff out
cool.
that no one's ever
Dedicated servers, crazy.
tried. Oh man, I'm
What-
kidding. To anybody who's
Now that we
listening to
start recording early, I never know like how long the podcast is.
We're 2 hours in.
2 hours in. All right, I'm gonna skip to the silly questions at the end. John Gordon says, "What's the best way to get lean for the summertime? Keto diet, South Beach diet, or Mountain Dew and Doritos?"
Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Are you only eating
And
Mountain
Hot
Dew and
Pockets.
Doritos?
I mean, I guess.
I think that would kill you, and that would make you
Yeah.
very slim very quickly.
Yes, you very.
That is very
slim.
slimming.
Yeah,
Mayonnaise on an IV diet. Yeah, go for it.
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Jimmy
Socks
Scooter
are so
says, "Is it weird that I just keep buying new socks at the dollar store rather than washing the dirty ones?"
He's a fan.
No, I do that.
Yeah, you're a fan of the
I do that.
new sock feel.
Yeah, new socks are pretty dope.
Yeah,
New underwear, not as good as new socks. I don't understand why. Like, I want to wash underwear before I wear them, but I will put socks on right out of that bag.
Yeah.
well, it's because
Well,
it's
it's touching your junk.
yeah. Well, here's the reason: the underwear.
True, it is touching my junk. I don't wash everything that touches my junk, though.
You don't want sock fabric.
What
Wrap
else
in
is
your junk.
that touches your junk?
I don't want sock fabric on my junk. I
No,
don't know. That would
you
be
put
soft.
socks
I
on
would
your
think that'd be
junk?
really nice.
You know how like thick it is? That'd be like that. I don't know.
It'd be warm. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
it seems like a heat problem to me.
Thermally would be an issue.
Yeah,
Also,
You get overheated?
The technique of putting it on. I mean, how are you gonna?
Red Hot Chili Peppers seem to have no problem with it.
I just find that the socks just aren't large enough. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, you're having a sizing issue, Pope? Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay. Sure.
I wear. I'm a 10 size. I wear a size 10 shoe,
Mhm.
and I don't have enough socks that would fit properly. That's all.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the
Just-
fact that the fabric's too damn thick to be comfortable on my underwear. That wasn't the question. Never mind.
No.
Yeah.
That wasn't the question
Yeah.
at all. No, but I don't think we think it's weird. Go ahead, buy new socks,
Yeah.
man.
I love new
fine.
socks.
That's all you.
Do it.
New socks are awesome.
What do you do with your old socks? Give them to the Goodwills. There's lots of people who have cold feet that really need socks.
There was a YouTuber, I can't remember his name, but when he got big, that was his first big purchase. He bought a year's worth of brand new socks. We had a fresh pair of socks for every day of an entire year.
Wow.
How fucking awesome is that?
That's a lot of socks.
That is a lot of socks, but that is a good year.
I like to think everyone is numbered. So then on like day one of the next year, he actually starts over with each sock that's been washed.
Right?
Mm.
Imagine the laundry after that year. You got this like mountain of fucking
Oh, he hasn't been managing
one
it?
day use socks.
Well,
Just been throwing it?
You're
Just
holding on to them for that long. I mean, imagine day one, how stinky it is by day like.
Oh, it'd be terrible.
Yeah.
wait, are you re-wearing it?
No,
No,
you
one
worn
day.
it,
One
and then
pair of
where do you
socks for
put
the
it?
whole year.
You got to store it somewhere, right? I mean, it's gonna stink.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine he'd never plan on putting the same pair on again if he's buying.
Or maybe
one
he
for
just
every
threw
day.
them away.
Just
He's just
once
throwing
use.
them away.
That seems wasteful.
That
doesn't
is.
it?
That's very
Ridiculous.
wasteful.
I don't even like the story anymore. The question's ridiculous. Move on.
This is heresy. Get this garbage
Heresy.
out of my eardrums. Unbelievable.
Blandon McBlanderson says, if you're going to be trapped in a cartoon universe, would you want it to be A, the Flintstones, B, the Jetsons, or C, Scooby-Doo?
Jetsons.
Mm. Yeah, I'm feeling Jetsons because the future. They probably have video
Yeah.
games too. Scooby's gonna have a bunch of ghosts that I don't want. Scooby snacks are enticing, but
Mm,
I feel like a lot of fun happens in that mystery van.
well, yeah.
that's a good point.
Like
And you know
that-
what?
The
The-
Jetsons, you're in the future. That looks great, but man,
But we're living in the world. Are we actually hanging out with Mystery Inc. here?
Yeah. See, good
Sure,
point.
yeah, I
You're
think
not
so.
you're not in an episode. You're in the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like extended universe.
Yeah, you're a part of the
No.
universe.
I
You're
would
like
assume he means
fanfic
that
in
you
the-
hang out.
There's a lot of messed
part
up
of-
people who are going through elaborate plans to hurt people in like
In Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo. I mean, that's a
Yeah, but
really
they're
messed
all
up world.
completely inept. You're fine, man. You're cool.
Those rascally kids.
To a man.
Yeah, and Flintstones is literally, prehistoric. No thanks.
Yeah.
Definitely not
No.
Flintstones.
I don't want to have to run my feet.
Choice I really
Yeah, that's a
got to
negative.
Scooby-Doo.
They got no socks. You got to be barefoot running your car the whole time.
Yeah, I don't
Nobody
like
wants
it.
to know socks.
No.
We already
No.
discussed the sock thing.
Right. I don't even know if they got underwear. What's on under those? They're all wearing dresses.
They are wearing
That's
dresses.
a good point.
Yeah, probably nothing.
Adrenaline says, I stayed at one of my best friend's places the other weekend. He had single ply toilet paper and it was rolled under the roll rather than over. Not sure how to proceed.
You send them a message saying, "Thanks for nothing. Never going to talk to you again. Bye."
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
you just straight up block them on Twitter.
You don't even say that. You don't even send them.
That's
the
a hard
message?
cut.
This isn't your
You
friend's
gotta
issue,
pull more than you
Adrenaline.
need, then you fold, and then you don't flush, and then you go home.
You upper deck him, then never talk to him again.
Savage.
Look, this isn't your friend's issue, Adrenaline. This is showing that you have made poor choices. You have
Yes.
put yourself in a situation where you have friends that would subject you to this kind of thing. So really, you need to look inward instead of outward.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't hate somebody for the choices they make, but hate yourself for making the choice to spend time with choices of people who.
How about we don't hate anybody? How about we
Right.
just,
Self-reflection.
a little self-reflection, I think is fine.
Yeah.
We don't need to be throwing self-hate around. Christ's sake.
What brought-
you're God damn it. What's going on over in that school?
Single ply?
Let's
Is that what's going on? A lot of single ply in that
a lot
school?
of single ply, and you know what? We have like the hand dryers that are the hot air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Wait.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh, there's a study out that when you use those, the majority of people who use them just flick poo particles.
Yeah.
all
Nobody
over
needed that
themselves.
study. Everybody already fucking knew that.
Ugh.
Everybody knew that.
Like, those blow dryers are fucking disgusting.
They just
Also,
shoot
People pissing on
on you. They what?
pissing them.
What?
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
People do weird stuff in public bathrooms.
Everything you've ever seen or
I don't
touched,
believe it.
somebody's peed on it. It might not have been that particular one, but somebody has peed on something of equivalent shape and size.
My mind can think of a lot of things, Brian.
See that apple sitting over there? Somebody's peed on it or something like it. Let me tell you. You see that car
So
door
you're saying
handle?
that Patrick,
Just last week, somebody pissed on it.
And
Patrick
if,
pissed on his
if
keyboard?
making somebody, if it makes you laugh thinking somebody with mine would be blown if I peed on this, double your chances it's been peed on.
you lived a frat guy existence, Brian.
Oh, this is truth.
All I
This is
know
true.
is that when I'm driving the I-5 of California, I avoid most of those gas station stops because of how terrifying those bathrooms are.
Gas station
No,
bathrooms
there's-
are the most disgusting thing.
Especially on I-5
Agreed.
though. It's like
Have you stopped by the one at
That's
Harrison
why
Beach?
everybody's pissing around the back of the gas station on the wall, in the ice cooler, and whatever else is around the back. All that
Right.
shit's been pissed on behind there.
Brian, there's
Nobody
a
wants
gas
to pee in the bathroom.
there's a gas station along I-5 that is along a cow beef. They're ranchers. They livestock for miles.
Cowschwitz.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And you stop there, and the stench, the
It's
overwhelming
awful.
stench. It is, and they have the rest stop there, and you're
Yeah.
like, how can anybody stop here? And
You drive as fast as possible from that place.
You hold your breath and like, but it's miles and miles of cow turds.
Years ago,
It's horrible.
when we came back up from LA, Merlin was in the car, and anytime going by Merlin, our cat, anytime going by that place, he'd be like napping, sleeping, and all of a sudden he was just like being like, "Whoa, who just crapped a ton
It
outside?"
is the worst smell. It is the worst smell. You can almost smell the car filling with methane gas. That's how bad it smells.
Yeah, if you've ever driven from NorCal to SoCal or vice versa, you know exactly what we're
It
talking about
is.
here. It is
You
the
cannot
worst.
miss it. Day or night. It could be pitch
Yep.
black outside and you're driving along. You're like, oh,
Yep.
what is
Pretty
that?
much.
Yep.
Brain and Vice. I feel like this is natural lead into the next question too. Would you guys rather have morning breath for the rest of your life or swamp ass for the rest of your life?
Damn.
Define swamp ass.
Just a generally moist butt.
Constantly sticky and wet down there.
Yeah.
So bad breath or smell like shit.
Well, it's
Now,
more
I
of a
don't know.
comfort
Does
thing.
swamp ass actually smell? I'm
People
not
could
sure it
smell
does.
you have a pretty bad case of swamp ass if people could smell your ass.
But it's for the rest of our life, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
I
life
think
You
term.
can take showers.
Really a choice between you being uncomfortable for the rest of your life or you making everybody around you uncomfortable for the rest of your life.
I feel like it's both all the time, no matter what. I'm going morning breath.
Yeah.
That's not like morning breath can't. It's bad, but I don't think it's as bad as swamp ass.
Well,
Imagine
There's
everything.
no right answer here.
Imagine you're at a funeral and you got swamp ass the whole time. That's gonna suck. Imagine you're waiting in line for an amusement ride, constant swamp ass. You know, there's a lot of things. You're at the DMV and you have to deal with swamp ass while you wait.
Tefty sold me. Anti-swamp ass. I'm down for
Yeah.
morning breath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
morning breath. You can
I
pop
think
mints all the
Topher
Topher
time.
in
Just don't
chat
you don't
answered this
breathe on
question as
people, you
best
know
as
what I
it can
mean?
be answered. Morning breath doesn't stop you from getting a BJ. Swamp ass does.
Yeah. Or does it?
Or does it?
I
Yes.
Maybe Topher just isn't. I don't know. I won't go there.
Julio Valdez says, how much money would you need to stop streaming or posting videos? How much money? What's the number?
$1.
Ah,
Because I don't do it. No, I don't know. I have to have a healthy lifestyle. Like
what? Say the
It would have to
question.
be several. It would have to be
$10
several.
million. $10 million.
Yeah.
Well, the question is how
I
much
don't
money
know.
to stop?
Yeah, how much money would it take for you to stop streaming or posting videos?
See, right now, streaming is a livelihood for me. So that's like saying you can't go to work. Like your career is over.
Yeah.
So it would have
Yeah.
to be some insane amount of money that's unrealistic.
Right. Look, Julio, get in my DMs. We'll talk about it. Well, let me hear an offer first, and then we'll negotiate.
Well, he was like, "Give me a number. Give me a number."
Yeah, he
I
wants a number,
cannot
man.
stand you
I'll give
people
him
being on the internet anymore.
Screw these guys up
$500
here.
million, and I'll take it.
How much?
500 million, and you got me.
Okay. So Leo, I'm the cheapest of the group. I only need $10 million.
10 million? All right.
I mean, I would consider that. Yeah.
Mhm.
But the other thing is like,
You just went from 500 million to 10, man. You can't.
yeah, but
cheapen
500
yourself
million's like
that.
500 million's like I don't even need to think about it. 10 million's like, is this gonna last me my whole life? Like,
10 million, you
are
got to
my- are my
diverse and
kids gonna-
invest and
can I
stuff,
ta-
right?
Yeah, can I like take my like kids to college? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
I mean,
don't know.
you never know though. Twitch could go full YouTube on us next year, and all of a sudden, like, what the fuck?
True.
Yeah, I mean, nothing lasts forever, right?
Yeah.
So-
I think I'd take that $10 million. That was the offer. I think I'd have to take that.
The end is near. Amazon Prime is 20% more.
But the fact that you have to say think is
We're all
my
done.
point of why I just said 500 million. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
500
But the other thing is like,
personal
like-
island.
I enjoy making content. I enjoy streaming.
yeah.
So
Right.
it's like, I don't. It's like a hobby for me. So it's like, it's a
But,
hobby
like,
more than it is
For
a
10
job.
million though, I mean, I enjoy other stuff too.
I mean,
$10 million,
I enjoy
you
water
live off
skiing.
the interest alone.
yeah.
Yeah, but then you couldn't ever make content though.
No.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
could.
you're
you
taking
could-
away
you
my
could-
passion
Yeah.
and my reason to wake up in the morning.
It's
Yeah.
like somebody telling me, like, "Hey, if I give you enough money, will you never touch a guitar again?" I'm like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I could learn drums.
If somebody gave me, $5 to not be on the podcast anymore, I mean, I probably have to consider it. I mean,
Pope,
I
are you
would
this
consider-
driven by money? Oh my God.
I have a $100 bill in my wallet, Pope.
Mhm.
Is that enough?
Right. I mean, that's like $98 more than we make off doing the podcast now. So yeah.
my friend George Washington.
Yeah.
All right, last question of the night, and then we can all go to bed. Mr. Goodbite says, "What's your favorite Magic card? How awesome is World of Warcraft? And is it a good idea to work for Target?"
I can't answer any of those questions.
Well, we have a huge
don't know
gap in our
anything
knowledge base
about-
right now.
I know.
I don't know anything about Magic. I know a very, very small amount about WoW. And what about Target?
Something.
Is
about
it a good
working
idea to
at
work
Target.
there?
Is it a good idea to work at Target?
Is
Yeah.
it a good idea? I mean, do you need money? I mean,
Do you need it? I wish it's almost like I wish we had somebody on the podcast that had the skill sets to answer
Right.
those
The
three
knowledge base.
those three relevant questions.
Those three,
Very
particular.
they're super important to the success of this podcast.
Well, rip.
was a
no
void.
one can answer. I mean, the Target one, if you absolutely need to work there and get money, but I would say set some higher goals for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn.
Damn, son. Would you
I mean,
say
I'm
maybe
an
it's-
honest person, man. Like
instead of working at
do
Target,
better,
maybe
man.
you could work at a game studio?
Maybe you could do like a podcast or something, then
Yeah,
try and transition that into a job at a game studio.
those are things. Those are
That'd
options.
work. Yeah.
Something to
Nah,
look at.
it'll never work.
Nah.
It'll never happen.
But there's one thing that we do now is that if you did that path, you would fulfill your destiny and what everybody knew you already were, a Bungie show.
There we go.
We are all there. Deep inside.
Yo,
What?
Patrick is gonna actually get a paycheck from Bungie.
I know. That's what I'm saying, man. He's
Exactly.
a freaking shill.
Wait, hold up. You
We
guys
did it.
don't get checks from Bungie?
Um,
NDA, brother.
I'm under NDA.
No.
I think that's gonna wrap it up. What do you think?
Gonna do it?
I'm still ready to go. I mean, it's like I barely was on.
True. True. Does that mean I wrap it up now?
I don't know, man.
I introed.
Well,
Did you intro?
I introed, yeah.
I missed the intro. I think you introed because really like Watts and I weren't here.
Yeah, that's
also,
precisely why.
he's literally the guy who presses start, so it just makes sense. Isn't it?
Wait. Things can't make sense here. Did he do it efficiently? I mean, was there like any mess ups or anything?
I probably screwed it
No.
up.
It was
You did?
completely unnotable, to be honest
Yeah.
with
Really? I mean, it's almost
I'm
like
under
if there's
NDA
anything like
to talk
that
about any of it right now.
flawless ad read, I'm really upset.
you. The problem was it was so professional. I think it was shocking to our viewer base.
Yeah. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna have to
go back
start
and
getting
watch
drunk for each podcast to get
Yes.
hammered.
Oh, you guys aren't drunk for every podcast?
Patrick, hey, Tefty, so what you got to do is wake up
Yes.
like moments before the podcast starts.
This guy
Put
I
on
can
a
make
shirt
this work.
that's been like buried at the bottom of your closet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right? Put on a PlayStation beanie to cover up
Put
your
on a
vent.
You're right.
PlayStation beanie. Smack yourself across the face a few times.
Okay. I'll get memes to punch me.
And then maybe like find the chair to sit down in, maybe just kind of stumble into it. But either way, you're sitting in it.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you're good.
This sounds
We
great.
love you, Patrick.
Oh man.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been the Destiny Community Podcast. I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on YouTube at Briar Rabbit. You can find me on Twitter at The Briar Rabbit. You can see me streaming on Twitch every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Just look for Briar Rabbit. And if you like podcasts, I do another podcast on Sundays called Revolver. It's not necessarily a gaming podcast. It's more of, other stuff.
Nice.
Dick jokes.
Dick joke podcast. Right?
It is a lot of dick jokes. I'm not going to lie.
My name is Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter and catch my streams, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. I usually start up around 6 p.m. Pacific, give or take a half hour. Every day of the week aside from Thursdays when we're doing the podcast.
Your turn. Gigs.
My turn? Oh. My name is Giggs. I am an Iron Lord, and yeah, peace out, guys. You're beautiful.
And if you don't know where to find you, just
If you
look
want
at
it-
the description below. There's links to all his stuff that's going to be listed there. But he streams on Twitch. He plays PvP like a god, and check him out. This
Wow,
has
you're
been
so much better than me. That's incredible.
This has been Pope Bear. You can find me on Twitter at Pope Bear, or stalking these guys' channels here. I stream sometimes on our DCP channel on Sundays when there's not family and other things going on. Make sure to follow the podcast on on Twitter at DCP_live. That's also the home of our YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please drop a rating. It helps us out immensely. Thank you very much for those people who are part of our Patreon. Because of you, we are able to do Let's Plays and another podcast and a ton of content that goes out to the public, but first to you guys. So thank you very much. If you're interested in supporting us through a Patreon, look in the description below. We got some great stuff coming up. We just dropped in a Let's Play, the last one with Holtz on it. It just went up on Patreon, and it's live now for everybody else. Anything else going on, guys? We've got a podcast showdown coming up soon in with Bungie. That's pretty
Bungie doesn't
exciting.
stand a chance.
Next week, May 10th is not next week, right? So May 10th is the next podcast.
No, next podcast is going to be the 4th, I think.
Okay, so
4th.
that's right.
4th or 3rd. 3rd or 4th.
The 3rd. Well, we've got some really good guests coming up. I just wanted to tell you guys the next week we have Lulu on. Really excited to have her on. And then the week after, we're going to have Josh Hamrick and John Wisniewski on the podcast. So they're going to get a chance to break down a lot of the stuff that we're seeing from the Warmind DLC that comes out and goes live on the 8th. So
Be a lot
make
of
sure-
fun. It'll be fun to be able to like really get the details from them, like on that.
Yeah.
So they're going to have free reign to talk about everything. We're going to get a chance to talk about everything. And D2 Warmind DLC on May 8th. Josh Hamrick and John Wisniewski on the 10th. We've got a ton of stuff coming up, so make sure to follow us on Twitter. Stay tuned to that and turn notifications on.
That's going to do it for the episode. We're going to roll credits, and I'll be back to read out some subs after that. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.